can. That's what you want. I'm not here to stop you. Hello, everyone. Welcome to an exciting game of Dungeons and Dragons. My name is David. I will be your lovely dungeon master for this upcoming arc. I don't know how long we're gonna go. I keep saying 24 episodes, but you never know. You never know. At least
the next
that.
4 years, David.
Oh man!
Yes.
Get ready for Kurtiger. Get ready. Here we come.
Did you have a stroke?
You can't see it. You can't see it, but we can allude to it. You know what you're talking about.
Have you had your water?
Yeah, I've had water.
Water.
Everyone has a dad cup that's filled with whatever.
This is why we go live a little early. Welcome, everyone, to Frontier Adventures here with Legends of Logomancy. As I mentioned, I am David. I will be your lovely dungeon master, but you don't come here for my ugly mug. You come for the 4 lovely people below me, and normally 5. Brian, how has your week been?
It has been quite lovely. I've been entertaining this little guy so much. A lot of that. Just working and playing games and yeah, enjoying life. It's been pretty good. Working on a business plan for a massage therapy tea shop with some retail space and whatnot. So super excited about that.
So next in-person event hosted at your tea shop.
Oh, it'll be a bit.
Tea
We're
shop.
doing a course right now that we're working on a business plan.
The next one.
The next one, yeah. Right? Let's get it together in a week. We got it. Easy. We'll have a fully operational brick and mortar. Let's go.
How was your week?
Sorry.
No, that's all good.
My week is good. Sorry, my cat's playing with something in the background. I don't know what the fuck she got. My week's been good. I've been working a lot. I got really nothing. I've been doing like geeky cross stitch for people, for fun. So that's all I've been doing.
Sounds like
I'm boring.
Hey, you know what? It's an easy life. Being
I'm
boring
an
sometimes
old
not
lady. All I like to do is play video games. Maybe an old lady doesn't do that, but who knows? Play video games and cross stitch. That's what I do.
Bad. That sounds like young people activities. Neon, how was your week?
It was good. I'm sorry, you're coming to me live as I re-download Pokemon Scarlet to help a few friends out with their Pokemon Pokedexes. And I have just, in this moment, learned that Pokemon Scarlet doesn't have cloud saves. So my save from my previous playthrough that had an almost complete Pokedex and a completed storyline is gone.
No.
Coming to you live. Wow.
This is a moment of tragedy,
Breaking
a dark
news,
day.
everybody. Holy shit.
So, yeah, yeah.
Well,
We'll be back in 5.
we'll
trying not to cry.
we will have you in our thoughts and prayers.
Farewell, Meatball.
Both forms of thought.
You will be missed.
Teagan, how was your week?
My week's good. Been playing some like mobile games, trying to keep warm. My house's heating is kind of off. Hanging out with my grandma while she's still here. So
Honestly, sounds like you're
And
all
fun.
having a blast of a week. I'm no longer sick, so I'm very excited to
Yay!
be able to talk for longer than 30 seconds. I will take advantage of it at great lengths.
it's a lot of monologues from David. That's what I'm hearing.
Are you sure you got everyone, David?
This time
Yeah. Are
I'll-
you positive?
I'm positive this time I have not missed
boy.
anyone.
Not forget somebody?
I feel like he's forgetting somebody. Does anyone else feel like he's forgetting
I feel like
someone?
somebody's not here, you know? I feel like something's missing.
Our good friend Hearts is on her own side quest. She will also be in our thoughts and prayers. I don't know where I was going with that.
I need like a moment
It's
of
dead.
silence, honestly, for that
In
save
dead.
the
file.
arms
I've-
of
the,
the angels.
Yeah.
I don't get conversation.
I've only ever heard jokes about it. Never witnessed it in real life. I'm so sorry. Like,
Well, you know, if you die in the game, you die in
I've been
real
rocking
life.
one for a
That's
good
how it
while.
works.
I understand these things.
Can you tell I was in father mode all day, and I'm just like feeling a little silly, like a strange little happy dude, a little goofy. But with that, guys, to keep Twitch, our great overlord, happy, be thy in hell,
What?
Jeff Bezos. We're gonna quickly run a short 3-minute ad to make sure when we actually get into the adventure that nobody is missing out on the fun. If you don't want to see this ad, consider subscribing. And with that, we'll be right back.
Penis.
And we are back.
Slipping it in there. What?
That tends to be how it works. Yes. Where we last left off, you all had just departed for kind of to check and find if you could hunt down a few bandits who had made off with some important goods.
Bandito.
When we last left you, you were beginning your travels, and as we settle into our scene here, the sun is starting to kind of dip a little low. You've made pretty decent time. It's still daytime for sure, but you're moving more into that afternoon 3 p.m. kind of timeline here. With that, you've reached a crossroads, or less of a crossroads and more of the only real intersection along this stretch. To the south of you is a trail that leads to a place that you now know is called Old Mill. It's an abandoned mill to the south where you know people who are of a more transient nature tend to make their homes and their livelihood in the time being. To the north of you, the terrain very quickly has turned rocky and craggy, and just little ways off you can see the beginnings of the hoodoos that you heard about that lead to likely where your player hideout is. And this is where you guys get kind of your first opportunity to make some decisions. Oops.
Sorry, you said the town was to the west or the east?
So you guys came from the west, and now south of you is Old Mill.
Okay. Gotcha.
Whoops. Just gonna break everything. Don't mind me, everyone.
Wow.
As one does.
Good job, David.
Professional Twitch streamer. Right there.
Oh, Hearts is so big.
He's huge.
Oh.
Took a second. Yeah, so you guys, now's kind of your opportunity. You can head into the hoodoos and start hunting for themselves, but if you want, you know that there are a few people in the Old Mill that may have been useful to you.
I feel like that's a
By the
DM hint
mill?
hint to go to the mill.
Right.
It's
Old
not.
abandoned
You
mill.
guys, it was a piece of information you got last time, so I'm giving it back to you in case you didn't take notes.
Near the Redstone
Huh?
Springs? Or
So you're about
Okay.
halfway between Redstone Springs and Sand Mist, where you guys started off from.
Okay, that's where
Okay.
the abandoned mill is.
Yes.
Yes.
Feel like a
I
true survivor.
Yeah, let's check out this.
think we should go to the mill.
I feel like Ski's just gonna go where you guys go. Just be like, all right, I'm for
We're-
the ride. Let's go.
We're all riding serpents, right?
They're
Cliff
like
gliders.
pterodactyls.
Yeah. So
Cliff
Yeah.
fluffy pterodactyls, effectively. They've got like fur, a little bit of fur, and everything like that. They're pretty chill.
I'm gonna call mine Screech.
Sc-
So be like, whoa, there's
mine's Starshine, Starlight. Yeah,
Starlight, Starshine, Starlight. Awesome.
Starshine.
that's the full name.
Full name
Starlight, Starshine.
goes by their entire name.
every single time. I expect you to say it.
Starlight with the stutters too.
Yes.
It's part of the pronunciation. It's a regional dialect.
Mine's gonna be Barrel.
Barrel.
Colton Barrel.
Golden
Barrel.
Barrel, nice.
I like that. That's good.
Oh no, you guys can't ever be separated.
Okay, yeah. So heading south along this trail, it's like it's one of those walking paths where you can tell people have gone up and down it, but this is not a maintained trail. It's more or less just a rut through the forest area that you've kind of found. Heading yourselves south, you eventually find yourself opening into a large space. So it, kind of opens up into like a very clearly intended for industrial purpose. There's a fence around it that has long since fallen away. It's mostly degraded, but you can see markers that indicate this used to actually be operated by the O'Clane military. They were large, so there's a couple major buildings that you see kind of as you come along the path. The first is a massive structure that you quite quickly are able to determine just from having seen them about that this is a sawmill. So this is a full operation lumber processing facility. And the reason the building is so large is it houses an old steam engine that would have powered a lot of those tools with no need for water. The second largest building that you can notice to that appears to be some form of lumber warehouse. It's fallen into serious disrepair. The roof's falling in. The windows are smashed out. The building itself is in very, very rough shape. The buildings that are in slightly better shape, though, that you immediately pick out are the old bunkhouses and the old cookhouse, where you can see smoke rising from them as fires are going, as well as small pockets of little fires that have been set up along this. And this is Old Mill. As you get closer, you can very quickly tell these aren't people that are, coming here looking for riches. They're just looking for a warm bed to sleep on. They're very downtrodden. These are people who clearly have made an effort to survive out in the wastelands. And once they were, or not the wasteland, the frontier, and once they were unable to, for whatever reason, they found themselves back here.
Is there like a community here? Like, would there be a population?
Yeah.
Or is it roughly just by, I don't know, like.
It's hard to get a real number because there's a lot of people like moving between groups, but you'd say there's probably about 200-300 people that have made this space into a home, which makes sense. Looking at the bunkhouses, you can tell that's probably about how many people used to be capable of being housed here at one point in time.
Okay.
I'm gonna get off my glider. Just like slide off the wing, like wee. It even says wee as we go down. Wee. Then stands up and is just like, okay. So we're gonna make new friends, right?
I mean, hopefully, we'll be able to get some information and maybe meet a friendly face.
Maybe you have more kids here.
I have kids everywhere,
Oh.
darling.
God, your child care bill.
I mean,
must
I
be
don't.
Crazy.
I have not a single kid to my name, but like, for your sake, yes.
Cool. And Ski's just gonna walk up to the person, like the first person they find, and go, "Hello, friend."
As you wander out, just like to a random like gaggle of like people
Oh yeah,
standing around.
random people.
Okay, and you're like, I'm your friend now.
I shall be your friend.
Yeah, what you find yourself with is a kind of a rundown, worn down looking human, who kind of looks at you, looks around for a second in this like dazed confusion of like he's not 100% sure what he's looking at, and then he like bends over slightly so he's your height and he goes, "You're real, right?"
Yes.
Boy.
I don't need an
She's
existential
real.
crisis today, but yes, I'm real.
I'm actually fake. I'm abstract and object.
I'm a
real.
projection.
I'm Skileta, but my whole 6 friends call me Ski.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss.
Yes? Will you be my friend?
No.
Oh.
And he says this with like the look of like looking back to the people that are there with him who are like chuckling at this situation because it's pretty funny.
That's too bad.
Don't mind the puffball. Now, we're looking for a group of younger folks that would have passed through. Sketchy type.
We heard they might be over at in the Hoodoos.
Well, lots of folk run out into the hoodoos. I suppose probably whoever you're looking for could be out there. Lots of places
They're
to
the-
die.
They're the
These-
idiots that talked about robbing a train.
I heard about that. I'm not the best person to ask. You could probably talk to Stump. He might know more. Probably be where I would start with.
Stump would be my
Stump.
friend.
Don't
Uh,
feel
He's
too
just like
hurt, darling.
pouting, it's just like kicking the ground, like.
Yeah. And I like reach down and give you a little pat on the head and don't be too worried, darling. People out here are a little to themselves.
Would you be so kind as to point us in the direction of Stump?
Well, he's probably around here. I checked the cook hall. I bet he's probably there dealing with, fires and stuff like that.
Perfect. Thank you kindly.
And you can see him
Thank you.
like
Unkindly.
tempted to reach out and try and touch Skileta. Like there's this like, do I do it? Like kind of.
Skileta's just gonna just like look at it and just looks at the hand and just smacks it like.
Fine.
You're not my friend.
Should have agreed to be your friend first. That's fair game.
No means no.
It does.
And you got problems with that, you got to come see me in the church. I'll set you right.
As you get more into the complex that this is, the more like military it feels, but the more like you could also feel that somebody has attempted to make something of this. The number one thing you notice is there's a little bit of everyone running around here. There's families, there's children playing with the, makeshift toys and stuff like that. People seem very like nonchalant about your presence. Like they get a lot of people of similar stature or, of various different types passing through anyways. So some of them wave at you, some of them go. As you approach, the cook hall is I would say the third largest building. It's a flat, stout building that looks like it's been repaired several times, hastily and with a bit of a rushed nature to it. But you can smell food cooking inside. You can hear people milling about inside, and as you enter, it's a fairly welcoming space. If anything, lights are going. There's lanterns on the walls that are lighting up the space. It actually feels like somebody's attempted to make this into space. It's pretty quick and easy to figure out if you think about the nickname that you were given, who Stump probably is, because towards the back of the room near where the serving benches are is a man who's missing his left hand having a conversation with a halfling woman who is very short, even for a halfling, and very stout, and she is clearly annoyed with him about something, and pretty quick to figure out that's probably Stump.
She kind of looks like a stump too.
Can I go make friends
Now,
now?
I don't think you can say that, Mr. Flint.
Can I go make friends?
That's very insulting.
They call him Stump just because of his head. They don't call him Smiley. He's probably got a great smile too.
Yeah, and I don't call you Stinky, so
Ski's just gonna be like, I'm gonna let them argue, and just like goes over closer to his.
you best be on your manners.
It just goes. I'm gonna go say hi, and just goes and just like waddles over.
I'm going with Puffball.
Is
I'm
that
just gonna
my
sit
name?
back and observe and probably grab water at the bar.
I want to listen into the like general conversations of the bar.
Okay, I'm gonna give.
House kind of.
Yeah, so like it's less of a bar and more of just like a serving tray. There's a kitchen behind it, kind of walled off, and you feel wood fires going and stuff like that. And there's a couple people handing out stuff. So if you walk up and ask for a water, one of them's more than likely to be happy to give you anything. Is there any questions you want to ask? Any conversation you want to have, or you just kind of want to hang out there for a minute, Flint?
I just kind of hang out for a minute here first. Because we've got someone off making friends, and I'm just kind of keeping half an eye on them. So I don't really want to divide my attention.
One of my best friends, Colt, are gonna make some new friends.
Yeah.
Sophia, give me a really quick perception check, because you're actively listening for kind of what's going on in the room.
Or
Okay, with a 10. Oh, that's Flint. Yeah, I'll give it to you too, since you rolled. Sophia, give me a roll first here, too. Yes, you, Neon.
Me?
Yes.
Neon's
Yes.
enjoying their chocolate.
I'm having some chocolates.
Okay.
Ooh.
So I mean, Sophia doesn't really pick up. It's chatter. It's the kind of chatter you hear in a place that's full of people. Conversations are idle and somewhat meaningless in the grand scheme of things. It's just people kind of having a conversation, having a talk. Flint, with your trained bounty hunting ear, you can pick up a lot of the people are having conversations here are more of a desperate nature. They're looking for somewhere to move to, somewhere that's a little bit more stable. You do get the sense that, like, while there's an effort to maintain some sense of order here in this community, it's still a transient community, and unfortunately that does come with some negative drawbacks. And
Yeah.
you hear people talking about people coming through trying to pass goods off, and it, specifically you can pick up snippets that are mentioning a name you can't quite hear, but it's repeated several times, where it's kind of like they're the problem.
All right, so I'm just kind of putting together. There's some strings, and they're all kind of tying back together to one person. Don't really understand, or don't really get their name yet, but all right, there seems to be a central figure here. I'm just going to pull up my notebook and write that down real quick. Definitely the sort to not start conversation, but listen to conversation.
Okay. Skileta and Colt, as you approach the pair having a conversation, the man named Stump stops and looks over to you. As you get a better look at him, he's a dwarf. He's larger than you would expect from a dwarf, so he might probably be a little bit of a half dwarf, if anything. But he's still got that stocky, well-built nature that you do expect from your average dwarf. And he looks over at you and goes, "Now, I don't believe I recognize either of you. I'd recognize you, young sir, with the fine wear, and little miss, I have to be completely honest with you, I've never seen anything like you. Welcome. What can we do for you?" And
Will you be my friend?
I dare say I'm friends to most people. At least that's what they tell me.
I'm Skileta. My whole 6 friends call me Ski, and this is Colt. They were my first friend.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Ski and young Mr. Colt.
I have a new friend. That makes 7.
What can I do for you? What brings you to Old Mill?
What are we doing here?
We were hoping you could tell us about those idiot bandits that robbed the train. We hear they might be in the hoodoos.
You talking about those 4 boys?
There's 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Red
Go- go
lizard
by
folk? What were they called?
Scarlet Snake or something like that. Crimson Serpent, that's it.
Ah,
Yeah.
Red Lizard.
They came through here a little while ago looking for somewhere to lay low and somewhere to find someone to offload their ill-gotten gains. We didn't really want much to do with them. I mean, hell, even Ravenna didn't want anything to do with them, and she'll usually put her fingers on about anything. But yeah, we sent them packing about 3 days ago, give or take.
who's Ravenna?
She's the tiefling woman who fixes herself a bit of a fencer of stolen goods. She's harmless mostly.
Would she know where they are?
I'd say probably. I mean, most folk around here can tell you they ran off into the hoodoos. Wouldn't really tell you where else they went. They were pretty loud about it. Not really all that smart, by my guess.
So it's almost fair to say it'd be almost easy to find them in there.
I'd suppose so. You probably have to, track them. If they've been gone for about 3 days now, they probably not much sign of them left. Pretty unforgiving section of land, if I do say so.
Did they have
That's
any
true.
gliders or anything with them?
No, I believe they'd stolen a horse, but that won't do you much good out in there. And one of them was talking about getting their hands on a stone worm, but I don't know where anyone would find one of those, especially legitimately.
Perfect. And where? Sorry, you just said her name was Ravenna.
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 Yeah.
And do you know where you can find Miss Ravenna?
Oh, she's about, I'm sure, somewhere, but gods above, nobody knows for sure. If you poke around long enough, I'm sure she'll make herself available to you. She's awfully friendly to strangers, much to our detriment.
I'll
Sure,
go look for her. He said friendly. I can make another friend.
Yeah, young miss, and the woman that he was talking to reaches forward with a spoon and with lightning speed smacks you on the hand and goes, "I wouldn't do that." And he's just kind of like, "No, there's no need for that. They're newcomers. They don't know. Like it's fine. She means well." Little miss, Ravenna's not one that most people want to be friends with. She skirts the law a little bit, and I'm not here to judge what one's lifestyle is, but some folk better off staying out of pocket of, and I think Miss Ravenna might be one of them.
She seems so lonely then.
She's got plenty of friends, plenty of folk around here looking for a quick get-rich scheme, or at least a way out of this life, anyways.
Oh. That's too bad.
I suppose so.
Sadly, Ski, there are just some people that can't get out of a certain lifestyle.
Well, that's when you take off their heads.
I object to that quite substantially, if I'm honest with you.
Huh? You're my friend. You don't have anything to worry about.
Listen, there are folk here that are awfully desperate that have struck out. They're gonna do some stupid things in an effort to not have to be here anymore, and
Yeah.
I'm not gonna judge them.
Some people do bad things with good reason, Ski.
Never thought of that. I just thought they were just people.
I suppose that's an awfully simple but easy way to think about it. Yeah.
Cool. it just pulls out Strudel and starts petting it like, I don't know, starts petting Strudel and just like, I'm gonna go sit down now.
This is a complicated thought I've been given.
Yeah, I need to go. Existential crisis.
Young Mr. Colt, if I don't mind,
Yes,
if you don't
Mr.
mind
Shum?
me asking, why do why are you looking for him?
We're part of the Adventures Company, and we've been asked to get something that they stole off the train.
Okay, that
A
makes
lot of people are going to be looking for it, and they can be in real danger.
Well,
More so than just the hoodoos.
I appreciate you bringing a sense of law and order here. Just they're stupid, but they're not end up dead stupid. You know, they're young kids. Not much. I'd say they're probably younger than even you look.
We don't want to hurt them. We just want to get what they stole and tell them just to, get out of Dodge.
That's probably pretty fair. So you're all out of Redstone then, right? That's the nearest Frontier Adventure Company post, right?
Sandmist, actually. We're
Oh,
stationed at Sandmist.
I didn't know they'd put one out in Sandmist. Sounds like it's becoming quite an important town then, if they got folk like you patrolling around.
It's the last stop on the way to who knows where, right? So.
A lot of those around here. Now, do me a favor. If you find anyone who's, if you guys happen to find people out there looking for work, and you think of us, maybe send a message back this way. I know there's some folk here like out of here. It's not a great laugh, but it does.
Well, I'll keep that in mind if we find anyone, sir.
I appreciate it.
So I guess Ski would just walk over back to the father and just be like,
Yeah, you turn around to find the father, and there's a small group of people who have like congregated because they're like looking for some sort of something from the church, like in
Okay.
general,
oh,
blessings, penance,
What?
whatever,
Signs of hope.
confession,
Sophia has lots of friends.
prayer. Sophia looks very
Just
tired.
like, oh,
I-
dude.
I don't know if those are all
She's
friends, Ski.
Is it her children? Oh,
Does it look like she needs an out?
I think just as you like have that thought of like, does she need an out? You see her like do some like hand wavy like, go forth and live and spread the good whatever the hell.
Blessings be with you. Be gone.
Be gone with you. Blessings be with
Spread the
you.
good word of
Thank the
everyone.
divines for the meal provided for you today, and go upon your lives blessed and whatever they may be.
Trying to disperse the crowd. Get them out of here.
Get
get.
Right on.
Get on out of
y'all,
here.
y'all sinners get.
How priestly of you.
Put out a hat and stand next to the father.
That's what they do at the end of every mass, right? In every religion, every prayer time.
I don't know. The only Sunday mass I've been to recently, I had a bunch of people apologize to me. So as far as I'm concerned,
Oh.
that's a
Oh yeah, they do that
perfectly
too.
normal
They do that too.
What?
Yeah.
Is that normal?
thing.
No, but yes, but no.
Um.
But we're not here to make statements about that right now.
No.
Let's get back to some good old D&D.
Anyway, back to God's favorite.
Oh,
I'm just gonna die casually.
I'll die professionally. Please and
You,
thanks.
you all gather together, and yeah, you're now you know that you're looking for a woman named Ravenna.
Yeah,
Ravenna. Bye.
or
also
we could
gonna
track
tell them-
the thieves in the desert.
apparently there's 4 boys, is what Mr. Stump
Four
said.
boys
Yeah,
Like,
originally we
oh,
said
of course.
3.
and a horse.
And they're looking for a sandworm.
Rockworm.
Rockworm.
Or stoneworm.
Stoneworm.
Damn.
That was close.
They must be man. They must be young and naive.
Yeah, he said they're probably a little younger than what I am. So,
And how old are you, Mr. Colt?
20.
20.
So late teens.
Kids.
I was just gonna look at
Understood.
Flint and be like, Flint, what's a
Yeah.
stoneworm?
Now, I'm going to try to recall in my memory what that is. Could I?
You definitely can.
Actually, think about it.
You definitely can. Stoneworms are basically even larger lizards native to the area. Kind of like if you crossed a turtle with like one of those Jesus lizards with like kind of the long limbs. They're like I'd say they're like the ox of the area. Very slow-moving, lumbering creatures. They're great beasts of burden if you're looking to plow a field or something like that. And they're like temperamental. Like they're very picky and they're very territorial. So you can at most keep 2 around, and they're very expensive to maintain. So a lot of people don't.
Okay.
Well,
No.
I mean, they're that, and
They're that.
but why some kids would want worm like that? I mean, that seems like the kind of thing a well-running farm would use best. But
Means they
Maybe
probably
for
have something a little bit bigger than
traveling.
they can haul on their own.
they just it's heavy. That's it.
Yeah. Or they just think they're cool and are being kids about it.
Well, if they don't know much
All
about
four.
them, they think they could get away faster. Said they left about 3 days ago. Sent packing.
Shouldn't be too hard to find them.
And they're not quiet about things, so
Now,
Nah.
this Ravina character, I've been listening in and I've heard, multiple threads leading to the one source. You think this is probably them, eh?
Ravina would be their fence, Mr. Flint. If they wanted to sell anything or get any profits off this little escapade, then they'd be going through her for anything.
Mr. Stump said not even she would touch this.
Do I know anything about Ravina? Being out here for a little bit longer and having the background that I do?
Give me a knowledge check.
Just like straight intelligence, or
Hold on. Trying to think of the best way to do that. I'm stuck in 3.5 apparently because I was definitely like, yes, knowledge check. That's just a perfectly normal roll. Give me. I would say give me a. Yeah, just a straight intelligence. I think.
4. Wow, I can't
no,
roll.
You've never heard of Ravina.
I
Maybe whispers of somebody out here that's doing something, but you can't remember a name.
I wonder if
Gotcha.
I would, with my connections.
He got nothing.
9.
Do we all just have connections?
No, I got none. I'm
none.
just here. Man.
Yeah, no, nothing,
Yeah.
nothing you can recall. Nobody's come to the more legitimate means.
Apparently, she has tons of friends, but is also lonely.
yeah, checks out for someone in her position.
I was told not to make friends.
That whoever told you that was lying currently. Maybe
So-
maybe don't make friends later. Now you can make friends.
With her?
Why not?
Okay. I got permission.
I live for Ski's optimism of the world.
Yes.
Yay! I'm not an optimist person in real life. I gotta put that out there. I just put it all to this character.
Look, all these people out here on the frontier are just trying to get by.
And then there's Ski. I will make the friends. We're dying. Still be my friend.
Yeah. So do you guys want to look around for Ravenna then?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ski has no sense of direction, so she's just gonna go.
I'm gonna get you guys to give me an investigation check.
Can I quickly do something before we leave?
For sure.
I just want to quietly ask Stump, hey, hear anything about Black Phoenix Gang at all? That name ring a bell? Ever heard of them?
Black Phoenix Gang.
I'm on a bit of a cold case, but
I'm gonna
always pursuing.
roll that to myself. I don't have whisper set up, so we're not gonna roll that. We're gonna roll a real dice. Whew, he is not. He's like, know, sorry, I can't help you much on that one.
Fair brother, it's the most common answer I get.
Wow. Colton, that's a...
That is. Oh,
Oh wait. That means I rolled a 1, right?
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get to
no.
roll again.
What are you investigating?
Oh, wait, hold on.
You said roll an investigation.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Colton, you
Oh,
said you get to roll
9.
again?
Yeah, with I have lucky. So if I roll a 1,
Yeah.
I get to reroll.
I got a
Phenomenal.
12. What the fuck? Wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. You guys are rolling great.
9 is better than 0, though.
Three.
Yeah.
Four.
Unfortunately, I don't think that name rings a bell. Is there something specific they operate in? Maybe I could tell you a little bit more about what you could ask for that.
Oh, well, I know at the very least hostage taken, but probably not their main source of business. It was just a gang that was working out of a house that we took down a while back, and well, I guess the leader wanted some revenge on me, so I've just been trying to seek them down.
There is a
In the
house
middle of the street.
in New
Of
Orleans.
the rising sun?
It's nothing that big out here, realistically. Just a lot of small time folk think they can make big time profits. But here's what I'll do for you. Yeah, you know, I'll keep an ear out. And if I hear anything, I'll send a letter your way. How's that sound?
Well, that sounds mighty fine of you. Yeah, no, just send it up to the Frontier Adventure Company out in San Mist there, and I'll be sure to pick it up.
For sure.
Name's Flint.
Flint, stump, and he holds out his right hand to shake your hand, and he goes, take care, and I hope whoever they took, you get him back.
Oh yeah, me too, brother. All right,
She's
well,
gonna
cheers.
look over and be like, someone was taken from you?
Not
Not paying attention to what you've been saying last session. It's just like, someone was taken from you?
yeah. Well, we'll talk about it later.
Okay.
But just know every now and again I'm gonna have to do just a little bit of my own digging for something.
If you need help, I can. I'm a good digger.
Well, I appreciate that. Mighty fine of you.
Okay.
For now, I'm gonna do my own investigation as we leave the building, right?
Yeah.
Dude, maybe I could do something a little better than what we've got going on here.
I got high, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Plus 5.
There we go.
That's what I do. It's literally what I do.
So we have
Um,
this +5 and a -1.
I got -1 too, so I was just like, I was surprised with the 12. I'm like, I'll take it. I don't.
So, you know, we'll kind of work our way from bottom up. You know, when we see Sophia and Colt don't find much stands out. You know, Sophia, you're dogged down mostly by people that recognize you pretty quickly as a preacher and are interested in kind of setting themselves straight and as far as the eyes of the various gods are concerned. Colt's pretty confident he knows what he's looking for, but in a place like this is probably somewhere he's not spent a lot of time. This is a place of desperation and destitution. This was somewhere that people have made their effort to try to stand up, somewhere your father probably wouldn't have wanted you spending too much time. Skileta, you pick up pretty quickly that there's a gaggle of people hanging out around a very specific fire, you know, by themselves, off to the side. They're kind of the edge of the encampment, along the wall, you know, farther away, but from like the main gathering of people, but very much closer to the actual industrial buildings. So kind of closer to like the warehouse space is where you spot them, but Flint, this is what you do. This is your bread and butter is finding people who probably don't want to be found by people who do what you do. And you recognize the telltale signs pretty quickly. Off in the corner, shady kind of separated space, and the fact that it seems to be its own distinct group within this one. This is a black market if you've ever seen one. It may not look like that as far as most people are concerned, but it's a black market, for lack of a better term. And you guys make your way towards it. It's as you get closer, the fires are kept lower. The people around here kind of give you a shifty look. They're not 100% sure what you're here for. And that's when you notice that the actual facility does lead into the walls, like into the warehouse itself. So you're able to see that that's where people are hanging out. What would you like to do?
We got a raid.
Yeah.
Hello, raid.
Hello,
Hello,
raiders.
Hey, Revan, how's it going?
Love it, love it.
Welcome.
Well, I guess now I can typically get us there, but I'm not the greatest at the talking part of it.
I
One
can-
of us-
He's just walking.
I see you do a lot of it. All right, well, let's go.
He'll ski back to walk beside Colt. It's like, you're very enthusiastic there, little one, but
Maybe
maybe tone it down just a tad.
just a tad, just a touch. And Sophia is going to reach up to her collar that is all done up nice and proper and just undo the first few buttons and tuck her holy symbol into the shirt to kind of get rid of the like fatherly preacher aspect. Just as we're heading into a little bit of a rougher crowd that'll probably not respond as well to that. Now, Mr. Colt, how many black markets have you been through?
Not a ton. It wasn't usually my circle of friends.
Fair
I'll be
enough. You
honest.
best keep all your valuables hidden.
He just kind of like
And,
gestures to himself. He's like, I didn't bring any. What I got's what.
Gotcha. It's just you look and smell of money, and that attracts certain folk around here.
I will let y'all know I've got a little nice spot that I can keep a lot of stuff actually. So
I've
if ever
seen
you're
it.
feeling
He just pulls
overburdened-
random stuff
Oh.
out. It's amazing. It's like
Hydrate.
It's cool. Hydrate.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you, everybody. What's
David!
up? David.
David!
David, no!
Minus treasure for David.
At the next break, I'll go get my shaker.
It's parts water.
Good.
Next
It's
break,
hard
I'll get my
water.
moonshine. I mean, what?
I mean, I could be worse. I could just, just
Bet.
take the...
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
do it.
No, that's
Next
good.
one, next hydrate.
That's good scotch.
Oh yeah. Ski's just gonna start walking over.
Yeah, I'm
them
gonna.
and just be like, it's just like, okay, don't be so like in her like speaking out loud like, calm down. Don't be so excited to make friends. Calm down. Don't be so
I'll stay
excited
right
to make
behind
friends.
Ski.
Hello, friends. Shit.
Howdy.
So as you enter into the room, the space is like old abandoned boxes and like piles of like lumber that were like left behind. There's, Colt, this is something you've seen before in terms of less the black market, but like you've been to military sites that are being decommissioned. If the military doesn't want to move it, they just don't.
They
They
just don't.
they,
Yeah.
they leave it where it is.
Nah, we'll
Um,
get it later.
Maybe.
Maybe.
So they, as they moved goods in and services in, people have made space in here. Like at some point, somebody had intended to use it for something a little bit better. It's a fairly large open space with a little bit of a stage set up. So maybe somebody had planned to turn this into a dance hall or a community hall of some sort. Unfortunately for them, sitting at at the slightly raised stage that it is, in a chair that looks like it used to be nice, and is less so now, is a tiefling. Very thin, very lithe, with the distinctive long ears that you would expect from an elf, but matched with a pair of ram horns that have out, and like a deep, like emerald green. She kind of looks at you as you walk in, and you see her looking at her hand at what first appears to be rings, but the closer you get, the more you realize it's bits of stuff that have been made into rings. This is somebody who cares very much about their appearance, cares very much about the perception of status, and has gone to great lengths to ensure that they look very put together. Their jacket's been mended. You can tell that it's been very, very carefully taken care of, but it's the same old ratty kind of worn down clothes that you're used to seeing around the rest of the settlement. And she looks at you. She kind of like looks at her hands, brushes them off, and goes, "And what can I do for you fine for folks today?"
Well, depends on what you got.
I want to be your friend.
She moves with a surprising speed. Does anyone have a passive perception over 14?
Oh,
Yes.
not quite.
Let me
Why
check.
do I not have a... Hold on. Passive perception is 10 plus whiz plus proficiency, right?
Plus your whiz.
If you're
If you're proficient.
If you're proficient with.
I'm okay.
No,
I'm
oh God, no.
proficient in it, so I aren't I?
Perception,
Hold
I got
on.
like a +2 in it, but I don't know where to look for.
Oh, I'm not proficient in perception. What happened?
I have +2 in perception.
You'd have a 12?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
you'd have
so,
I have a
I have a
yeah.
15.
Okay, we got one at least.
15.
Yeah.
There we are.
So it was not that she moved so quickly. She misty stepped.
Ah.
It was a very quick little, like, it was designed to look like she was moving, and even the way she carried herself through, it looked like she had like crossed the distance. But now Skileta, she's beside you, and she leans down right in your face, and she's like, "I always love to meet new friends." And she extends out her hand, and she goes, "My name is Ravenna. What is yours?"
Oh, Ski just grabs it, but is gonna grab it with like a force, and just like, because they're so excited hearing that they always like to be friends, and so go grab it like with a force, but doesn't realize how hard she's grabbing it. And it's like crushing it slightly, and goes, "I'm Skileta, but my 7 friends, now 8, call me Ski. You can call me Ski."
She ruffles your hair, kind of shifting your ears slightly, and she goes, "It has been a pleasure to meet you, Ski." And she stands up and she looks at the other 3 of you with a beaming smile on her face. She goes, "What? So, I've made a new friend, and it's clear the 3 of you are looking for something. Nobody comes here unless they're looking for something. Now, I detect an air of arrogance and self-importance. A preacher, perhaps? And we...
Only by trade.
Well, we all have to make a living." And she steps again, and Misty steps beside you, Colt, and she runs her hands over your shoulders. She's kind of like feeling you up. She goes, "This one," and she grabs your artificial arm just a little bit harder and taps her fingers on it, "has seen something he didn't think he would see." And then she stops and she looks at you, Flint, and goes, "And I recognize that look anywhere. A man who features himself part of the law, but not." And she steps back, and she's back in her chair. She flops down. She goes, "Now, let's try that again. What can I do for you?"
I like her.
I'm looking for a few boys who got stepped into some shit and can't get their way out of it.
Yes, with a box they don't know what's inside of.
That'd be them, ma'am.
That's right.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Now, you're a mighty intelligent and intuitive individual. You wouldn't happen to know what's actually in that box, would you?
I have a few ideas of what it could be. Now, there are things that people will move in boxes, but when the Bankers Guild does it, and the box is very clearly Bankers Guild, they only move specific items that have been requested to be moved. Your young friend has probably seen one or two of them. Now, I have a couple thoughts on what could be worth so much time and effort, especially considering the amount of money the Bankers Guild's willing to pay. But Father, we both know how this game works. Nothing's free.
Nothing is free. And I will reach into one of my pouches. Actually, no, it's a belt that I keep on around my waist. The front of it is clean, professional. But you see, as I reach kind of further back into the coat, and I pull out a classic, just brass revolver shell, and I put it on the table.
Now, in our line of work, that can be received one of two ways. Are you offering me a favor?
That would be a favor, Miss Rivera, right?
Ravenna.
Ravenna. Pardon, you go so many years dealing with the same folks, all the names bleed together.
She kind of looks at the shell for a minute, and she picks it up, and she twirls it in her fingers, playing with it, and goes, "I've been terribly rude." And she pulls a pen from her hands. She goes, "And what was your name?"
Belle. Father. Sophia.
And she, as she like writes it in it, like it's not ink. She writes it into the shell, but you can see it's almost like it's engraving into it as she goes. And she like puts the pen back in her coat, spins it, and the shell's gone. And she goes, "I'll keep that for when I need it." Now, Father, there are, according to the manifests, only 3 trains authorized to move goods for the Bankers Guild in and out. Now, it was not on one of those 3 trains, which implies that it was being moved with a sense of secrecy, and our 4 little friends got themselves into a whole world of shit they didn't expect to find themselves in. We've all been there, haven't we?
Wait, is she your
We've all been.
your child too?
But
Yeah.
Okay.
one of the things that would indicate is that it's something being moved for somebody pretty important. My money is on a member of the Hall, but my sources indicate it might actually be the military themselves, specifically the Ministry of Magic and Artifice. Now, they don't move goods very secretively very often. They're showy about it because often what they're moving is actually worthless. But for them to move something so secretly through the Bankers Guild from one hall to another with plans to move it to the Dwarven Holds of all places indicates it's an incredibly powerful magical item. And I don't want to piss off the military any more than I have to.
Everybody's like,
enough.
write notes! Write notes!
We're all like, "Ah."
It sounds like
My
an
obsidian whip can
RPG,
only get so big so fast, David.
right? There's so many things at it.
We
Yeah,
just got a bunch of information. I'm like, write notes!
I can talk for longer now. This is gonna happen.
That's fair.
Sounds
Now-
like we should make sure that it's recovered properly and effectively. To do that, we gotta get exactly where we're going. Do you know where these folks have wound themselves up? We know it's in the hoodoos somewhere, but I'm sure you have much more information or an idea of the layout of the hoodoos.
She looks up, and she kind of like squints, and you notice like one of the like collapsed in sections of roof. There's a beam of sun coming through, and somebody has like carved a like clock into the ground to indicate it. And she looks up and she looks down at that, and she goes, "Well, you won't make it before nightfall. It's a small cave, about, I would say 10, 15 kilometers from here. Your mounts would be able to make short work of it, but once you get in and the sun sets, the hoodoos around here are hostile. Not in a normal sense, of course. Nothing scary, no monsters to worry about. Our fine feathered frontier adventure company sees to that, I'm sure. But it's cold, it's miserable, and those caves are damp and hard to see when the sun sets. You won't make it before the sun sets, so you'll probably have to find somewhere to hunker down for the night. But I can give you a rough idea. And she pulls from her coat a note that she'd had prepared, and she goes, "In fact, they were kind enough to leave me general instructions."
That's mighty kind of
Now,
them.
you wouldn't be able to send a note ahead, let them know that somebody's coming to buy up that box of theirs.
I could send a runner.
Would they make it before night?
Depends on how badly they want to get paid.
Depends on how much they're paying them. Alright.
You not assume we're paying them. We're sending a runner, eh?
Probably.
How much?
Charity work isn't exactly something that comes on frequently.
How much is your fastest runner? We want to secure this deal so they stay put.
That's about right. Get us off on positive terms at least to begin with.
Right?
Let's say 1 gold. Simple and easy. 1 gold, and I'll have somebody there before nightfall. Hell, I can make sure they meet you outside and introduce you correctly.
Oh, I have a gold. And just like he opens up the wallet. I'm
All
like,
right.
not reading
The
the
whole
situation.
wallet's
just
empty
that all, like,
immediately.
there you go.
Miss Ski, it is... I'm so happy we're friends. She takes the gold, she snaps her fingers, and a lanky human, maybe, probably elf, a little bit in there, boy shows up, and she goes, you go find those 4 boys for me, and she hands him the note, and she goes, you tell him I found a buyer after all. And you tell him I expect my cut.
It's fair. Now, I'd like to roll insight on that.
Yeah, go for it.
Is there any like hidden messaging going on? Any sort of underhanded trickery? 18.
Yeah.
Any miscant going on there?
I mean, like it's very clear. Like it's a message to both of you that if there is money exchanged, she does expect a cut, and it's also like a bit of a coded threat towards the runner, that, you know, to be careful, and that if he does anything outside of what has been said, he won't get his money.
Fair. Well, always a pleasure doing business with you. Ravenna, do you got a last name?
I've always liked Sun Moon. My father said that was a good, strong elven name.
Very pretty.
Thank you.
Seems a little, is it oxymoronic? Is that the term?
You know how the Sarusha can be. They like to have their little fun sayings. I'm told it means a sun that never sets.
Well, may the sun never set on you, Miss Ravenna.
Father, it has been
Look forward.
an absolute pleasure.
And I'm sure we'll be doing business again soon.
At some point, it's almost certain.
Hi, Ravenna! This is just like big aggressive wave, like hi.
So you all have a choice. From where you are, and based on a copy of the directions you got, you know you could make it close. If you pushed your gliders, you could probably make it to the mouth of the cave, but you wouldn't make the before the runner. Like, you'd be there at the same time as the runner, effectively. And whatever you've got kind of planned here would probably backfire a little on you. So you got a couple of options. You can spend the night here in Old Mill, or you can set up camp in the hoodoos themselves.
Maybe set up camp in the hoodoos, just because.
I feel
It
like
gets
we're
mighty cold.
safer
there,
out there, though, considering there's unease in this whole place. We're not exactly surrounded by the fairest of folk.
That's fair, Mr. Flint, but as far as I see it, one of their main fixers here is owed a favor by myself and by proxy you folk, and it'd be mighty stupid of them to let us get attacked and possibly die here before they're able to cash in on that.
That's fair. If they're the only player in town.
Fair.
But,
Other players might come to us with a counteroffer.
well, if anything, we should definitely be keeping watch on each other. while we get through the
Always.
I guess an option you have as well is, you know, you can probably set up camp just outside of Old Mill, kind of keep yourselves up and set up watch.
I think we should probably do that then.
That seems kind of the most rational.
Yeah, just outside.
Okay.
Just be a little bit outside.
As the sun starts to set and just outside of the walls, you guys set up camp. We're gonna head to our first break of the night. So everyone,
Hell yeah.
we'll see you soon.
Hi.
See you in a minute. Do it.
Okay,
Do
I'll
it.
be
We're
right
going
back.
live.
David,
We're
start
going
counting.
live.
Do it. Do it. Go. Yeah, tickle your pickle.
There's
Get
Skileta
it?
running away
You
to
the
go grab a
police
pickle
now.
literally as we go live. Life is full of important questions. Now, to make up for Revan when you came in, I'll hydrate now.
Full jar.
Woo!
Welcome back, everyone. So you guys have set up a camp around just outside of town, and now is your guys' opportunity to do watch. So, who wants to go first?
I've
I'll go
got.
first.
Ooh, does anyone like not have dark vision? How's our dark vision?
Oh,
I do not.
I got
have
dark vision. I'm good.
I've got goggles that give me dark vision.
I don't think I have dark vision.
You want first watch? Or last watch?
Sure, I'll go first.
Okay.
What could possibly go wrong?
All right.
As is a Legends of Logomancy tradition, since Skileta, you're going first, and as your friends settle down for the night, I'm gonna get you to roll me a perception check.
I got +2 in this, guys.
Sue? Beautiful.
You got this. Go ski.
Oh shit, I don't got this.
With an 11, as
Could be worse.
the sun has set for the night, and you know, kind of a silence sort of starts to fall upon Old Mill. There's a murmur from the town, and the lights are dimming out. The fires are you know, burning out. People are heading in for the bunkhouse for the night. You get kind of a glimpse up at the stars. It's a lot less, like, it's surprisingly hard to see them here. There's a surprising amount of light pollution coming off of the mill still right now, and there's kind of a peace to it, though. It's almost like camping, with the forest nearby and everything. It kind of reminds you of home a little bit. But other than that, you don't really detect anything. Now you've got a little bit of time here while your friends are sleeping before you wake up the next person. Is there anything you want to do with your watch?
I want to take out Strudel.
Okay.
I just want to be like petting Strudel and thinking about and taking care of my axe, like sharpening it and making sure it's all ready to go. Because Skileta might not be the brightest, but she knows good equipment care.
Perfect. So you spend your night sharpening your axe, taking care of it, maintaining everything.
And in the darkness, people just go see sparks as this like shh, like an executioner style.
And you know, the soft sounds of your friends asleep. And you just have some time to think to yourself, thinking back to your parents, to your papa.
My papa.
Your papa. And your watch passes without much in the way of anything. Who do you wake up to replace you?
Oh, we didn't establish who
You
would go
did.
first.
Choose.
Skileta's
Pick your
got a
favorite.
pick.
Pick your favorite. Pick your favorite.
I'm
No
just
pressure.
I'm just gonna go. It's like, don't pick me, please. So let's just gonna go over to, you know what? Go over to the father, because they're a father figure to
Yep.
them now, and phone and be like, Sophia.
Yes,
Sophia,
darling. Yes.
Do you want a turn?
Sure. I can take a turn.
Okay. Night night. It just goes over and curls up like into a little croissant kind of roll like a cat does, with strudel
Damn.
in the middle.
Out already. Like, not, there wasn't even like a wind down on that. They just and gone. Well, that is a skill. Huh.
Sophia, it's your watch. Can you roll me a perception check?
8.
Hey, not much to really see. Your guys' fire is burning. You find some kindling. some wood.
Well, when he
you,
needs
you,
to fix their number generator.
you quantum
You're
numbers.
not rolling great.
Quantum numbers aren't in your favor. And you know, settles everything in. The lights are starting to dim inside it, and you can really start to see the stars now. Since your time in Sand Mist, this is your first real good look at them in a while. And you have an opportunity to think back on your past life, but nothing really jumps out at you. What do you want to do with your watch?
I think once like everyone's asleep, there is a special pouch on my belt. It's around back, it's hidden in the jacket. Most people don't get to see it. And I'll reach around, I'll grab it, and I'll put it on the ground in front of me. And they are all empty bullet casings. Some of them are revolvers, some of them are heavier caliber, some of them are lighter, if that's a thing. And each one either has a name transcribed on it or a age or a gender or a location. No uniformity to the descriptors given. Some of them are numbers just written down. Some say boy, some say man, some say male, some say woman, female, other, reforged, orc, elf. Just random descriptors on empty bullet casings. And Father Sophia Belle lines them all up in the same way that you would see in like a church, those candles that are meant to be lit for like the memory of a person. And there is so many that it's hard to keep count of them. And she lights a little stick of incense from her, preacher's pack and says a prayer over them before collecting them all up one by one, rubbing her finger over whatever is inscribed on it and putting it back in the bag. With the same kind of motion one would use to reload the revolver barrel. Ties the bag up carefully, puts it back, and then just stargazes until the time passes.
Who do you wake up?
How light is it outside?
Still pretty dark.
Still pretty dark? I'll wake up Mr. Flint.
Who's that?
Mr. Yeah. And I wake you up by kicking your boot, One of those things you should never do to anyone.
That was the easiest way.
Mr. Flint, it's your turn.
All right. Get up.
Best get those fancy goggles of yours on.
Take them off.
Still.
Put them on my eyes. Oh shit. Let's go take a look around. And go start my watch.
As with everyone else, roll me a perception check.
Also 11.
You guys are doing great. There's
I'm really scared. I'm in danger.
You're at the part of night, Flint, that you're familiar with. You in only the worst kind of way. The deep, dark parts of the night where nobody really wants to be awake. There's a quiet about this period of the night that's almost all-consuming. It's long, it's drawn out, and the only things that are really around are kind of the sounds of your colleagues, shuffling about in their sleep. sounds from the town a little ways off. But a darkness has settled in where it's only kind of occasionally broken by, you can see in the distance, people grabbing a lantern and heading towards the space they use as latrine. There's a peacefulness to it. And you kind of sit up and you see the stars. There's not much else to see tonight. And the rest of your watch is yours.
I would definitely, at some point, pull out one of my tinkerings that I get. Magical tinkering. I get to have 4 things imbued with magic at a time. And I would have done at least one of these a long time ago. Or 2 of them, probably. One with my daughter's laughter coming from it as a sound.
That's creepy as hell.
That sounds like nightmare fuel.
Not if you're a parent who's ever heard their daughter laugh.
It's true.
I
But and then the other of my wife saying that she loves me, and those would just be 2 things that I would have and listen to, not obsessively, but just kind of just fondly, and then just put them away after maybe 5 minutes or so. Just remind myself of what I'm here for, and then probably pull out the glass blower kit and pick up some sand and see if I can melt down a little glass bead or something like that.
Okay. Is there a specific type of bead you're going for, or just kind of a?
Probably just like a little drawn out one, like a little disc kind of bead, like almost like a Pandora charm shape. Come to think of it, just whatever the ground gives me as far as color comes out, and just add it to the bag of all the other places that I've been.
Roll me. Oh man, this should be so much easier. I'm realizing. Yeah, roll me an intelligence check.
Sure.
With your
Straight
proficiency
in-
modifier, whatever that is. Should be a +2, I
Okay,
think.
so that would be +5. Can I just do an Arcana? That's what I've got.
Yeah, that works for me.
18.
Okay, with your little glass blowers kit and using kind of the fire and getting it real nice and hot, you're able to make yourself a pretty little almost like a beautiful little bead of glass.
Nice. Absolutely love it. Toss it in my jacket and just keep on collecting them.
Okay, you've got one last person to wake up. We'll trade out.
Well, I guess that's obviously going to be Colt.
Yep.
Just go up and same thing, kind of kick the foot. Hey, Colt, time to go.
My turn? Okay. Sits up, rubs his eyes.
So far, nothing to report. It's been a pretty easy watch.
Don't jinx it now.
Well, unless you got better eyesight than goes truly, and I pull the goggles. And fucking... I mean, they're not very good. Pretty blurry and gray.
They work. That's all you need.
All right. Well, good night.
Get some sleep. Okay.
Colt, give me a perception check. A
19.
Oh, thank
There it
goodness.
is.
I was a little worried.
I was like, nobody's getting high. We're gonna be screwed.
We're fine.
Got the anchor.
You've got the shift that a lot of people crave, the one that ends the night out. As the sun begins to peek its way over the west or the east. I know how the sun rises.
Your world could be different.
I should have just stuck with it. But you know, the sun starts to come over the east. The first morning light really starts to illuminate the world. You notice there's an odd beauty to the space you're in. The way the forest sits, the way that even the mill seems to be constructed, you know, what looked to be a dilapidated building in the early morning light, you can see the care that went into its construction. I'm sure it was abandoned, but it was a beautifully built building at one point. And the trees, and just in the distance, kind of over the horizon a little bit past the forest, you can make out the base signs of the hoodoos. And the echoing calls of cliff gliders, like the creatures you rode in on, themselves waking up in the morning, beginning their morning hunts. It's peaceful, it's quiet, and it's a perfect way to end out the night with the last shift. What do you want to do with your watch?
I think Colt would start by just checking the like his reforged arm there, making sure it's any repairs that need to be, any like oil or whatever it needs to be done. Making sure it works as he intends. And then bring out one of his gaming sets and just kind of play around with it. Play against himself as he waits for the sun to come up just high enough that he doesn't feel bad for waking everyone else up.
Your night passes without much in the way of event. You wake up your friends and you guys are ready to go for the next day.
Shall we then?
We shall.
And
What?
Sophia will grab some items out of her pack while everyone else is kind of packing up their bedrolls and everything else. And we'll sit down and just prepare like a pot of coffee in a little tin mug. And we'll pour herself a little tin mug of on the road cowboy bean coffee.
What's that?
It's coffee.
What's coffee?
It's just a drink. Warm.
Oh,
I don't
is
know
it
if you'll
good?
like it. It's bitter.
Oh.
Here, and I'll offer my little like.
Oh.
It's such a
Oh,
it's
Oh,
such a
no.
flimsy tin mug. Like this thing has been sat on and like squished and then formed. Like
Sophia got that booty. Yeah, Ski's gonna just like take the tin and just like rabbits, like the little nose twitching and just sniffing it, just like, and takes a like a little sip of it and goes.
yeah. You didn't feel like the type that would be appreciative of it.
It's not
All
like
right,
coffee
starlight
juice.
shimmer, star shine, shimmer shine. That's it. Pack her up and get going.
He's just gonna jump on her. She never named her. She's just like, man, and just jumped on it and be like, yay!
Well, Screech, I guess we're off. Let's go.
Non-barrel.
You head off, wind your way back up the trail to the main road, and then north, following the instructions. Really quickly, I'm gonna get you guys all to roll me a nature check to make sure you don't get lost along the way.
I would like
Nature?
to use my cantrip guidance
Go for it.
and guide myself.
Oh, this is might not
He
be
does
good.
have no idea where directions are.
For what good it's worth.
No. So we are at 210.
I got 11.
Hey, 21. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
There we go.
Here we go.
Oh,
Intelligence.
God. I'm like, well, this is gonna go poorly.
You know, Ski and Sophia, you guys struggle a little bit to follow the path. Maybe Sophia, you didn't work your way out this way. Ski, let's be honest here, you've never ridden a cliff glider before.
I'm too busy trying to not spill my coffee.
Colton, you're a little bit more put together with it, but the real hero of this pack is definitely Flint, leading the way, easily able to kind of follow the instructions. As you get a little bit further on, you start to notice the clear signs of like human passing through the area, hoof prints from the horse, and that kind of thing as you get along.
It's gonna be like the notepad. You gotta keep track of all the directions and everything.
You guys find yourselves eventually at a series of hoodoos that dip into a valley, and there's a clear cave entrance that you guys find yourselves in front of.
Seems to be it right here. Whoa, Screech!
Come on.
We got our guide anywhere to be seen?
There is the person who'd been sent off is kind of waiting out front. He looks a little thin, or kind of a little wiry, and more in the sense of like emotionally wiry. And he sees you approaching. He goes, I let them know you are here to purchase their box. And he holds out his hand expectantly towards you.
Your employer not pay you?
I was under the impression you were paying me.
Well
Can I give
done.
him 5
Alright.
silver? That appropriate, son?
Sorry, I didn't catch that. You cut out on me.
Oh, 5 silver? Can I give him 5 silver?
And he kind of like holds it in his hand. He looks like he's about to fight you about it. And he goes, it'll do. And he like stuffs it into his jacket. And he
You
just,
get the rest when we're done.
okay. And he just takes off running. And he's gone.
Alright.
And you guys find yourselves at the mouth of the cave. A couple minutes later, a fairly young-looking fellow approaches the entrance of the cave. He's dressed surprisingly well for a train robber. Nice coat, put together. He looks like he shaved himself recently. And he leans against the entrance to the cave. And he looks at you and he goes, "You folks here looking to buy some valuable treasure?"
Something like that.
Okay.
Mostly here to see if you were actually talking true about what you got.
What you got?
You know how rumors fly.
Oh, I assure you, no rumor, no myth, no lie. 100% genuine Bankers Guild sealed box.
Well, now, what you got inside the box is really what matters most.
Wouldn't
You
know.
got in there.
Wouldn't know. Not able to open it.
Well, then that changes the
Alright.
value drastically now, doesn't it?
Now, let's not split hairs. Let's not argue or try and confuse the matter. All of us standing here right now know a sealed Bankers Guild box got something valuable in it.
But we're valuable, though. Don't you think would be not on the train you stole or tried to rob? Or
See, that's the thing. I bet you they didn't want people knowing it was on that train. Off to the middle of nowhere. I was more than happy to take it off their hands for them.
Fair
I
enough.
think you lying.
I'm sure you were.
I think you got
Let's,
yourself a fake banker's box there, and you trying to sell it for some fast, easy money. Well, I think can't get it open. I don't believe you.
Why would I try and sell a fake bank box? Fake box is obvious, right? You seem like
The
you're...
fake box is obvious, folks. Let's at least get our own eyes on the thing before we start disregarding the fine reputation of this young gentleman.
He goes, that's what I
point
think.
there.
And he reaches up and he lets out a short whistle. And a minute later, two other boys, younger, that look awfully similar to him, though, show up, and they're carrying, between the two of them. It's probably, about that thick, decent thickness, but lengthwise, it's almost 6 feet long and reasonably tall. And emblazoned dead center, Sophia, you'd recognize this anywhere. That's the Bankers Guild mark.
That is... I mean, at least he's truthful about where he got it. That's a Bankers Guild, all right. And I am going to take a look at that box. Just, are there any, hidden latches, buttons, things like that?
Give me an investigation check.
Absolutely. Investigation.
8. You cannot find any.
I can't roll above a 10, apparently.
It's verboten today.
I would also try to check out the box because skeptical of it. Or I'm honestly, it's just a bit. I'm trying to get them to fucking lower their value on it and try to throw them off a little bit. But I would definitely want to investigate it as well. Show the discerning.
Ah.
Ski, while you look at the box, he's just gonna look at them and be like,
Damn.
"You're the red lizard."
No higher than an 8.
Nothing, as far as you can tell.
Well, it does look clean.
I mean...
And you said the other two boys looked like the one we're talking to. So is it almost safe to assume
No.
they're brothers?
Yeah, you probably put that together pretty quick.
Okay.
Whoop, that's nothing. Now, you fine boys don't really know what you got in that box. But I do, and allow me to enlighten you. This box here was going to some deep storage out in the frontier, away from everyone and anyone. Not because it's valuable, but because it's dangerous. Might be a Bankers Guild box, but the contents inside belong to the military.
They kind of look around at each other. The two younger looking ones are for sure, there's an air of nervousness about them as they look at each other, but the one leading shrugs and goes, I don't care who it belonged to. It belongs to me now. I'm willing to sell it to the highest bidder.
You ever...
You really want to get
Hold
on the
on.
bad side of the military?
Can Ski just look at them and be like, "Can't we just take it?" Whispers it to Colt. Can't we just take it?
I'm not strong enough to lift that.
I got it.
Kind of looks at you like,
Now-
Yeah.
Can Ski walk over and just try to pick up the chest?
It's heavy.
Okay. Just wanted to know how heavy we're talking about.
It's like, Ski, that box is bigger than I am.
David,
Mm.
I can't remember the name of the Orcish Empire, or the islands.
Isles of Delgra.
Delgra. Now, you boys never heard of the Delgirian Gold operation, did you? Old experimental arcane stuff. This here, the contents of that box, is the result of that project. It got canceled because every single person working on it eventually had their skin melt off.
I'm gonna get you to roll me a deception with that one.
Absolutely. Please, God. No! Shit!
Oh,
Hold on. There's gotta be something I can
no,
do.
oh, no.
Hold on. Please. As
I can do to help.
No,
I got
I
it.
think I heard that too.
Can I have guided myself somewhere in there?
I'll give it to you.
Silvery barbs.
Please. 16, not a 4. Roll 20 hates me.
Apparently, what did you do?
I don't know.
Pissed it off somewhere.
You did something.
It's because last game I ran, I only ever used physical books, not the compendium in Roll20, and Roll20 has been salty about it ever since.
Like, how dare you?
You see the two boys like behind very clearly are like looking nervous. There's a little bit of concern and everything, but the third brother kind of looks at you and goes, "I think you're bullshitting."
Why would I be bullshitting? Can't you see I'm a woman of the divine. I haven't spoken an untrue word in my life, or at least ever since I took my vows and promised to serve the
Now, he
He has
community.
a lot of kids. Lots of children.
No, you're bullshitting. And I know preachers who lie all the time. Ain't part of your oath.
Not part of their oath. I'm a little different.
They don't know you don't know what's in this box, do you? You don't actually know what's in this box. It was a
Well,
nice try, though. I appreciate you. He leans back and he goes,
fair
"You know
enough.
what the fuck she's talking about? I'm telling you. My price stands
Then
5,000 gold."
I guess we'll all find out together then. And I will cast a second level knock to unlock whatever the box is.
Oh
Okay.
no! This is gonna be really bad. Really. fucking
Choose an
quickly.
object that I can see within range. The object can be a door, box, a chest, or a set of manacles, a padlock, or other object that contains a mundane or magical means that prevent access. Becomes unlocked, unstuck, or unbarred. If the object has multiple locks, only one of them is unlocked.
Do you want to throw it in chat for me?
Yes. I was pulling it up, and then I couldn't add it to my character sheet while we were resting because I had my character sheet popped out in another window. But I'm a cleric. Well, my spells work like cleric spells, so I can change them out every rest with prayers.
Ask your magical sugar daddy kindly.
If it's an arcane lock, that spell is suppressed for 10 minutes.
I'm gonna get you to roll me.
Uh-oh. It's a mimic.
No.
Oh,
So
no.
much worse.
I
Super
think those
loud.
boys
knock.
would be alive if there was a mimic.
I'm gonna get you to roll me a Constitution save.
A con save.
Still trapped.
Absolutely.
Well, the preacher's gonna die. Probably a pretty well protected.
I'm sure I will be fine.
That'll do
15.
it.
Thank you, roll 20. I apologize for
When it
anything I did
matters
wrong.
You feel a psychic presence as you cast knock upon it. You feel a psychic presence press back against your mind. Somebody of a lesser constitution would have been immediately knocked over, and before they could finish casting the spell, it would have failed on them. You know, as a preacher and a user of magic, sometimes spells don't always go the way they're supposed to. But luckily for you, kind of washing over your mind, you do feel, though, as if something had tried to, like, reach out and grab you and punch you in the gut all at once, but it kind of harmlessly fades away, and the lid of the box comes unlocked.
I will take a little gander and flip that lid open.
When you open it, you are presented with what appears to be a maul, a large Warhammer-like structure. The handle is some kind of very ornately carved metal, something that took a very long time to do, something that a true craftsman would have put in. It's inlaid with gold and silver, and you can tell from looking at it, it's old. Like, it's capital O, old.
I told you I knew it was in that box.
The top of it, however, is what would probably catch you off guard a little bit, because it is a maul, but from the handle up, it is made out of a perfectly smooth, pink, quartz-like material that seems to glow from within, and the top of the hammer is carved with a series of runes that are completely indecipherable to you.
Now, Ski, you're our heavy weapons
Hello.
expert. Why don't you come give this a
Okay,
look?
he's just like waddling up and just. That's not. Would I know it because I do know Sylvan? Is it anyway Sylvan? No. All right.
Is it orcish?
Is it? Is it over?
Whatever language this is, it's old.
It's old.
Can I try to pick it up so I can like weigh it out? Like, just be like, okay, like, is this actually a good hammer or is it just like for show?
A pretty hammer. Yeah.
As your hands reach to clasp around it, it's an almost electric thrum. The best way I could describe it is if any of you have accidentally pulled the casing off of an outlet socket and decided, I'm still going to pull that socket out from the wall, and you get 120 volts running through your arm. It's a great time. I recommend it for everyone at least once.
I'll pass.
You seem to know this from experience.
I have no idea what you're talking about. That's not even the worst voltage I've been exposed to, so like...
Oh, dear God.
6,000 volts.
500 at 3 amps.
Straight to the nipples.
To my left foot. But you
I have questions and concerns.
my dad's a mad scientist. That's all you need to know. This sensation creeps up your arm, and it's a vibrating, tingling electric sensation, and you can't quite close your hand around the handle.
Excuse me, like, it not nice. It not nice. It not nice. As my fur like is standing up in edges from this electricity, my ears are shot up like, I don't like this. It must be destroyed.
Now,
Could I look and see if there's anything like magical radiating off of it?
Are you looking to are you doing an Arcana check or are you doing a detect magic?
Like Arcana check would be what I'd love to go for.
Yeah, for sure. Give me an Arcana roll.
all right, well, he's doing that. You said it was old. Is it like elvish old, or is it like older than that?
Do you speak Elvish? I forget.
I do.
Okay, so you recognize the letters. You do not recognize the words. So whatever this is, it's written in Elvish, but it's in a dialect of Elvish that does not exist anymore.
Okay.
So with an 11 Arcana, your immediate sense for this is that it's less that this is a magical item, and this is a capital M, capital I magical item. Whatever this is incredibly powerful. From the locks that were placed on it, now that you're seeing the inside of the box, you can see it was not even just a regular arcane lock. This was shielded and protected and designed to prevent people from so easily accessing it.
Can I bring out my mage hand and try to pick it up with that?
As soon as
I feel like it's heavier than 10 pounds.
Yeah.
as
you'd be surprised.
soon as your mage hand touches it, it dispels.
Ooh.
Okay.
Alright.
How good is a hammer that we can't even touch?
Um,
I think that's the point. Ski.
on the same note, the boys are now all kind of like crowding around you a little bit, trying to figure out what it is too.
And we're all just like, okay, let's just
Yeah.
put away our differences. Let's figure out what the fuck is this.
Now,
Maul is 10 pounds. So it could.
okay. Just barely.
Mhm.
Unless it's a special mall that's a little bit heavier.
Or a little bit later, we don't. It's got engravings that takes away. 9.8 pounds.
But it's also a quartz.
Yeah, and it just goes, it dissipates shit.
Alright. Well, now look, I tried to be coy about things. I've tried to be polite about things. And you're right, I didn't know what was in the box. But I wasn't lying that it belongs to some very important and very powerful people. And look, either we take this from you and get it back to the right hands and you go about your merry day, or you keep this item and you'll be wishing for the rest of your life that you let us take it.
He's gonna continue poking it.
You're young.
The younger of the three boys that you can see right now looks to his oldest brother and goes, Vinny, if we don't know what that is, and like you saw what it did to his whatever hand, the ghost hand that he had. What if they're right? What if it's you know, actually, oh my god, you guys are rolling like shit.
Wow!
So-
Thank you. We didn't need to be told that. We are aware, dude.
No, not
Boy.
you, not you. They rolled a nat
yes,
20
also
on their
I.
insight, and then like have not rolled above a 4 on any. Vinny, like let's maybe we call this one. We still got everything else we took. We got all that money. Maybe we just we wash our hands of this. We walk away.
You're still young. You can make the right choice. I'd love to see you boys live a fine, long life.
Maybe we can be friends.
And Vinny, the oldest boy, that you now know, kind of stares at it for a long time. And he starts to slowly nod. And he's like, yeah, it's been a lot of trouble. And I feel like maybe it's best we do. Maybe. And he kind of looks at it for a while, and he seems to consider it. And he just kind of closes the lid to the box, and like with his foot pushes it slightly towards you guys and goes, I guess we call it even. Then.
Attaboy.
Sounds mighty fine to me, Vinny.
Thank you, red lizards.
Oh, and word to the wise, maybe think of a better name than the Train Gang.
And you see the kid who was like giving it kind of goes, oh.
I like the red lizards.
And you hear
Crimson
from
Serpent,
back,
eh?
you hear
That
from
was
like
a good
in
one.
the depths of the cave, like Crimson Serpents. And
Red lizards sound better.
Vinny looks at you guys and he goes, "You're not gonna tell anyone we're out here, are you?"
And I ain't got no reason to now.
And it sounds like Ravina already knows that you are out here. So if they know, then
Oh yeah.
who are we gonna tell?
She's gonna wanna cut at this, but what's
If
25
purchase
money,
to 0?
Are you
What was she?
still looking to do business with her?
I mean, if we're
You
if
could
we're
just
gonna
say we
keep,
robbed you.
if we're gonna run around here, we'd probably have to. She's the only fencer,
Hmm.
right?
We can get out of Dodge.
There are other forms of fence.
Oh,
Could build houses. Those have fences.
Not like that,
Oh,
sweet
okay.
cheeks.
But good try, Fluffball.
Okay.
Tell you what. We'll go back. We won't say anything to her. Okay? But if she asks, we'll tell her that we happened to catch you off guard and get it from you. Whether you want it to be that we took it by force or that we snuck it out of your possession, that'll be up to you.
okay. Yeah. We'll I don't know. We'll come up with something for her. She's gonna be mighty pissed, but
How much
I'll tip her.
does she expect out of
You know what? Actually, just you can tell her to add it to my tab.
okay. Thank you. We're gonna go.
Take care.
And they
I'm not-
retreat back into their cave.
He's
Smart
gonna walk
boys.
over to the chest and just.
Do you think you can get it out,
I will
Ski?
try. Can I roll a strength
you-
check?
Yeah, roll
See
me
if
a
I can
strength
pick
check.
this up?
No, I was wondering if you could get the hammer out of the box.
Oh no, I can't get that hammer out. Right? I can't because when I get in there, it just electrocutes me.
Well, it's like you can't quite close your hand around it.
Yeah. I'll roll a strength check.
Alright, well,
That'll do it. It's awkward, and for all of you watching, it's an experience. Because the box is bigger than Ski is in every proportion. And yet, somewhat concerningly effortlessly, Ski's able to kind of go, what? And just like toddle away with this box.
I got it.
Can Colt
those
help her?
movers like moving a fridge? They're just yeah.
I saw someone take a full couch. I'm not joking. A full couch, turned it for like one hand, and carried it down the street of downtown Calgary. Just one hand, full couch, just like walking around, just waving at people. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
You just couch for a
I
while.
love IKEA.
Hey, like in like that perfect like center spot. You're good.
Mhm.
Yeah,
What's the ground like here? Is it sand? Is it rock?
It's rocky. Like it's. If you've been to Drumheller, it's Drumheller.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will my glider be able to carry this thing?
Oh yeah, they're easy.
Okay, all right, perfect. Ski's just gonna walk over and be like, glider, and just puts it on the back, be like, done!
It kind of like looks back and goes "Rrrr" at you as you put it on. Like it's complaining, but it can handle it.
Ski's just gonna be petting its head like, be grateful I don't skin you. It's okay.
I'll just make sure that box is properly secured.
I was just gonna sit on it. Ski's just sitting on it, just like, it's secure!
Well, we don't want you or the box to fall off.
Okay. Where are we taking this thing?
Back to Sand Mist, I'm sure. I mean,
Yeah.
we were supposed to bring it back to Taz.
Forgot you guys were calling him that.
I didn't.
Bestest friend. Are you kidding? I have Taz, my number 5 friend. Just Taz.
Yeah, it's a slower trek. You know, Ski's cliff glider kind of struggles a little bit to like scramble up things now with you. And like as you travel along, it's very clearly like belly aching the entire time. If you've encountered, you know, people who ride cliff gliders before, most of them treat them as fairly unintelligent creatures, more akin to like a really dumb horse or a donkey. You're starting to realize
A lizard,
yeah,
perhaps?
you know, you're starting to realize these are more in common with a common house cat than you'd probably be comfortable with in the grand scheme of things. But you toddle your way back to Sandmist fairly straightforward and simple.
I shall name it Ram. After our beloved Ram.
I'm sure that's one of the deities up there, known for being having lots of guts and seeking lots of
I'm
glory.
gonna name it Ram.
You guys find yourselves back in Sandmist. Skileta,
Excuse
you
me?
carry
Just
your
jumped
box
out.
in. Folk like stand and like kind of watch you walk with this look of like, huh, as you do, and you toddle in. You find as you kind of enter into the entryway, things feel more cleaned up since you've been gone. And heading up to the second level, you find that the collection of papers and notes that have been scattered around previously are now neatly organized to like a table off in the distance. And you find Tazbor hanging out in the space. It looks like he's just finished evening meal himself. And he looks and he turns to see you enter and he goes, "Oh, back
Hi,
so
Tazzy."
soon. Bye.
Tazzy, look what I
It
Looks
got!
does.
I had forgotten you referred to me as such. I thought it was a bad dream.
Tazzy!
Nope.
Unfortunately, no such luck, and it looks like we're not the only ones who have been busy.
Well, you're going to be around, so I figured it would only be nice to make sure you have a clean place to spend your time.
Excuse me, just drop the chest on the table, just...
That's not quite what I was expecting. And he approaches the box and he's looking at it and he goes, "It's bigger than I had anticipated."
Who put this job out?
Bankers Guild did. It's important, whatever it is. They considered it something very important to be recovered, so they put out a request.
It's whatever's in that box. Well, it's a maul. It's a weapon of some sort, and I think it's a little bit more dangerous than even the Bankers Guild would like to let on.
What? A maul does not denote this level of importance, and you seem to be pretty sure that it's dangerous. What led you to believe that?
It's covered in gold, ancient elvish, and rose quartz head, completely rose quartz, or just quartz. Was it rose quartz or quartz?
Quartz.
Is it pink?
Pink quartz.
Pink quartz.
Pink quartz, yeah.
A material that looked like pink quartz, anyways.
Additionally, our good friend here, Skileta, could not pick up that hammer. Couldn't even touch it.
It shocked me. It was not nice.
He kind of places his hands on. He slides them about until he hovers over top of the Bankers Guild symbol, and you watch it glow like a very vibrant. Like it goes from like a bright white to a red to like almost like a purple itself, and then it fades in. He goes, "Interesting," and then he pops the top of it open. You suspect he probably cast some kind of spell to handle what it was, and as he's looking in the box, he reaches in like he's going to grab it, and then he pulls his hands back really quickly and kind of does this. He's
Told
like,
ya.
"That's very interesting."
It's spicy. This kid's just putting his finger and just getting trying to get it, just like...
Smack Ski's hand.
Actually, I am gonna sit down, David, and I have identify, and I'm going to cast that as a ritual,
Yeah.
if possible, because I'm a cleric that can do that. A preacher that can. Oh, I must touch it. Can I hover my hands above it?
Yeah,
Touch the
I'll give you that. As you kind of like reach over to touch it, you're overwhelmed. There's layers to whatever this item is that you're looking at. As I mentioned, like you're talking about something that's extremely rare, and it's clearly got different layers of magic that seem to be woven into it. The easiest ones, as your mind starts to focus in and figure out what's going on, the easiest things to detect is that it's obviously dispelling magic when it does come in contact with it. Not necessarily like intentionally. It's like a secondary effect to whatever is happening here. But probably the most interesting thing is you try and like push your hands deeper into this like field that's pushing back against you. You realize that like whatever the head of this is constructed out of, it's not native to here. It's whatever it is an incredibly potent magical item, but it feels off from everything else you've looked at. And almost as you're trying to reach in and study this item, you can feel back along the connection, the item trying to understand you. And for the briefest seconds, you can almost feel like you're touching it, like it's let you that close. You're the deepest of kind of feeling for this magical item, and all of a sudden, it's like it just absolutely shoves you off.
Understood. As part of the spell, if it is a magic item or there's some other magic imbued object, learn its properties and how to use them, whether it requires attunement, and how many charges it has, if any.
You can tell that this is an item that is designed to dispel incredibly powerful magical effects. This is the kind of thing that like kills liches without finding the phylactery.
Gotcha.
It requires attunement, but it chooses who it attunes to. It's not a class specific. It is very clearly that the item has a say in its attunement.
Understood.
Maybe we can make friends with it.
That means you
Possibly, yeah.
can make friends with it, Ski, but it has to choose to
Will
be
you
your
be
friend
my
back.
friend? Just look at them all. Oh, will you be my friend? You can be my number 9 friend.
With that little bit of a revelation, we're going to jump to our last break here of the night. Take a quick gap and appease the Almighty. We'll be back shortly here.
All right.
And we are back.
Woo.
Welcome back. So we now know that the hammer has a capacity to choose who it attunes to. And we know that it requires attunement and it can dispel incredibly powerful magical effects. Kind of watching you study it, Nalbeck closes the case, runs his hand over it again, and seals it. And he's like, I think it will be best that this is kept somewhere safe for the time being.
But I can be friends with him.
You know, I'd be inclined to
Tazzy!
agree with you, Mr. Taz. Tazborius?
Tazbor.
Tazzy!
I know, I'm just pulling on your tail. Now, I'd be inclined to agree with you. However, I don't think this item should belong in anyone's hands.
Uh-oh, we lost David.
No, I'm still here. I just really big sneeze. And I didn't want to do that on camera.
That's fair. I agree. I don't think any one person, even if it does choose who it wants to use it, any one person should use it.
There we go. Well, we have our own vault here. I can put it in there for the time being and at least keep it secure. I seriously doubt any of you are strong enough to destroy whatever this is.
Probably a
Fair
good
enough.
idea.
Mr. Flint, you have a bag there that seems to go a little bit deeper than it looks.
Think that this would, the box itself would fit inside the opening?
Probably.
Would
It's like slightly bigger than person sized, like in terms of like width and stuff.
Yeah, it's not quite. It's gotta actually fit inside the bag, though. That's the drawback of it. So.
Don't think that hammer could fit in there?
Well, the
You'd have
box
to
Hey,
So-
actually, hold on.
pick
It might
up
just
the
dispel
hammer.
the bag.
It might.
Oh
be.
yeah,
Yeah,
it might just
do that.
That's maybe not a good idea, actually. Yeah.
Never mind.
Good,
I-
good
I-
thinking,
strong
but
enough-
wrong execution.
I will
Just,
give you
I
this.
just know that
As you like reached into the box, you could tell one of the effects of the box is to contain the effects of the hammer.
yeah.
Yeah. No, the box
You just,
itself
like,
is as
pick up the
important
box.
as the hammer.
Just be like, okay, where's the vault?
There you go. You have a deep, darker spot in the vault. You know, way away.
And Tazbor's like, I'll put it away. It's fine. And like surprisingly, just as effortlessly as you were carrying it, he's able to like kind of like heft it up and be like, that's actually got some weight to it. And he like leans it against the wall for the time being.
Like a coffin.
Yeah, basically. A mall-sized coffin.
Pretty box.
Well, and he like trundles his way towards the back, and returns shortly with your payment, and hands each of you 10 gold, and goes, your cut of what we've been paid, less your room and board and services, and a bit stored should you need it later.
Quick
How much-
question. So
oh.
we never figured out, like, we knew where it was headed to, but we didn't really figure out why for the hammer yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's double check him.
You have a rough idea of where it was headed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
To the dwarf mountain, which then would be put inside their vault. I think.
You just know that was the train's destination.
Yeah.
So, Ski's just gonna look at Tazzy and go, Tazzy, when is somebody coming to pick it up? Like, doesn't it need to go somewhere? Like, are we dropping it off to somebody? Are they coming to pick it up?
We take care of all of that. They'll send a courier, and we'll send it on its way. When they send it is a matter of bank guild time.
Is it safe to go alone this time?
What do you with the I feel as though the people that arrive to transport it this time will probably take a great deal more care with it.
Good.
Can Ski just like go over to like Flint and just go like, because Flint was looking at the hammer. Oh no, that was Sophia. I'm gonna go to Sophia, and because they were talking about like entombment and everything like that, and we learned about like it might be like the
The person, not
Ministry
the
of
class.
Magic and everything, and I'd be like, will it be safe here? Like, won't people come for it?
That was my worry too. That's why I asked if Mr. Flint there could put it in his bag. Items of importance oftentimes are targeted by a number of mystical means and magics to locate them.
Should we stand
Um,
guard?
I think keeping an eye on it might be a good idea.
Tasbor looks at you guys with a kind of a smile, and he goes, "Ah, I see you're concerned for its safety, and I can appreciate that. But, as I'm sure you were made aware, most Frontier Adventure Company outposts come equipped with additional protections, more than just the building itself, and that does extend to our vaults. It should be safe here until such time, but you are deserving of some rest and some relaxation in your beds, and an opportunity to spend a bit of time making yourselves comfortable. I'll have more for you tomorrow, but for now, I just wanted to say, good job not dying."
I'm just looking at Sophia and be like, we just talked to them, right? Like, I feel like we didn't do that much.
We did just talk to them. I mean, I'm also concerned that this might be something larger. Those boys there that robbed the train in the first place, they're still, I mean, barely drinking age, looked like. My question is, how did inexperienced train robbers like that get their hands on something like this?
Are you asking if it was intentional or if they were set up?
I think it might have been set up. Something this important, something this powerful would have had proper eyes on it if it meant anything to anyone.
Depends.
Even if it's just from the shadows.
It depends, really. The Bankers Guild are studious and, how would I put this politely?
Just
More
give it to us straight.
concerned with coin than they are with human life. But they're an old organization and sometimes a little stupid when it comes to matters of their own believed untouchability. Many of them may have assumed that moving it in a manner such as this would have been enough to move it. From what I understand, the train it was not a standard courier train, but a regular freight train. So it might have been a matter of them thinking that was enough to hide it, and our young friends got lucky. Or unlucky, depending on how you view this.
Well, either way, people know it exists now.
Well, you didn't open it in front of them or anything, right?
That would be foolish, Mr. Tasbor. No one would have done that.
But
Well, we definitely did, but
wait,
And there's definitely...
No.
I mean,
he's just
We're
like,
all right there.
no,
it hurt my ears a bit, but yeah, we did.
I didn't do it.
Immediately, Sophia has that, like...
Yeah, close like it's like way to be subtle. Skate.
I see. And they're loud-mouthed, too.
Think they're liabilities?
They-
Do we have to go bring them in?
They seem scared though.
I mean,
They
if
aren't gonna
anything-
talk.
If anything, the damage is already done. Matters of this spread like wildfire. I would be more inclined to believe that at this point the best thing we can do is ensure this is gone from our possession as quickly as possible.
Well, then the Bankers Guild are going to show up any moment now. Are we
Yes.
sending a missive out to them? Do they know that we've got it now?
As soon as they're aware that it's here, they'll send someone, I'm sure.
Well, we best get to it. I'm not too worried about them boys, but there's a fence in the old mill who now knows about that, and if there's anything I know about fences, they love to talk.
Fences talk?
I know it's a magical box.
The walls
I don't-
have ears.
What? Just starts touching the walls like, where?
Oh, ski.
Casper watches Skileta for a moment and goes, "You grow on people, don't you?"
He's like, yep. Love you, Tazzy.
I still would rather you not call me that.
Tazzy Roo?
Come on, Taz.
No.
It's her term of endearment.
Taz Taz.
I'm. How about?
Don't be such a bore.
And Ski's just gonna lean over and be like, isn't his name Taz?
There's more to it, but it's
Uh,
okay.
He like toddles off and like pours himself a drink from behind the bar, and he's just like,
Papa juice.
Colt's just
waddles
gonna
over and be like, can I have
Salute.
a
I'm like,
drink?"
you're welcome. Knowing Colt started all of this.
Colt started it all. It's like,
He
Taz.
did.
I'm like,
It's
oh, that's his
100%
name?
Colt's
That's
fault.
Taz.
So yeah, you guys now know that whatever this thing is, it's a powerful magical item that it's likely going to come, and that at least hopefully only for the night. Tazbor's plans are to keep it within the vault built here. He picks up the box and he walks down the stairs, leaves the four of you alone for the time being.
Well, perhaps a drink back at the garrison.
Oh, yeah, you guys can all tell me about yourselves. That's what
That sounds
friends
good.
do, right?
Yes.
Sure.
We
Such
did
Ain't
tell
much
you.
to know.
friends.
And we'll head out and get a drink.
Go to the garrison.
Fair enough. As with the last time you were here, the garrison is bumping. It is the place in yeah. Somebody's just hammering on the piano to the
Oh yeah,
people are giving
it's
him
actually one of
dirty
those.
looks.
It's one of those player pianos.
It's broken,
It's
so
just
it's
the
just
back
like
piano.
yeah. But yeah, you find yourselves a table at the garrison, settle yourselves in, and Elnora stops by for a quick conversation. As he comes by, he's got glasses of ale, kind of puts them all down in front of you super quickly, and he's like, "So, how was it? How was getting out there? See anything exciting?"
Hi, friend.
Nah, just run of the mill stuff. Those Crimson Serpents, they're a group.
Pretty novice.
But in the end, they were smarter than they seemed.
I'm glad to hear it. Are you those? I'm assuming those boys are still out there walking around this world, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
they're
sir.
still walking.
Very well. Then you know what?
Not a gun was fired.
Oh, no violence either. I dare say we got ourselves a setting of regular folk heroes, eh? And he kind of like elbows you, father, and laughs a little, and he's like, I know how a day on the road looks. I'm gonna leave you alone. But if you need anything,
Ah.
you know where to
Spicy
find
water.
me. Maybe.
I will try that
They-
spicy water. I swear.
She earned it today.
Okay. And he returns a moment later with one for
I mean-
each you, Skileta and Sophia. And then he's
Yeah.
got like the bottle. And he kind of looks at both Colt and Flint and he's like,
Sure.
Yeah, I'll take a shot tonight.
and pours you
Celebratory.
all glasses, your shots, nods to you, takes a swig from the bottle in thing, goes, oh, right.
Oh, come on, Elnora. You should know better than that. Surprised you haven't grown accustomed to it yet.
Every single time, it's like a surprise. And he nods to you and he heads back towards the bar.
There's a reason your wife loves you.
Oh.
He's gonna just see that he took a swig of it and be like, okay, and just like full sends it.
Cheers, everybody. Job well done.
Yeah.
We knocked that one out of the park.
Job well
you know?
done.
Easy peasy. Now, what are we doing in the meantime?
Getting a rest. I honestly want to keep my eyes on the on that item in the fort at least.
I feel like we should probably have a little bit of watches going on for that thing too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're safe here. We don't have to look after each other, but you guys want to take first, seconds, and thirdsies as we do, but on that item?
I think that might be a good idea, Mr. Flint.
Will I get more spicy water? It tastes good.
I'm
we
glad
can-
you like it.
Drop some off for you.
Maybe not
Strong.
all tonight if we're gonna keep our eyes peeled and our senses sharp, but after this thing is properly sent on its way, I'll consider it.
Okay, I can talk to it, and maybe it'll be my friend.
Perhaps.
Maybe.
That's kind of dangerous. I'm just going to put that out there right now. I
You never
don't
say it
feel
was a good
comfortable with
idea,
you
Flynn.
opening up the box and talking to the weapon.
It's sealed now, so I'll just talk through the box.
Well,
Like
okay,
I'll knock.
now
I'll give
that's
it its
fine.
privacy.
Now that's fine by me. That's a,
I may be a bunch of things, but I know my boundaries.
well, that's wonderful to hear. Yes.
She does not.
Skileta, the only barbarian with therapy speech.
Well,
Totem
she
of
has
the good mind.
she has done a lot of therapy. Hence, she has an emotional support animal.
Yes, a barbarian with an emotional support animal.
When you stab my friends, it makes me feel bad. I would appreciate it if you stopped stabbing my
or
friends.
I will stab you.
And to say this, I will kill you now. What? Don't worry about it. Just let it happen.
Yeah. I know when the father gets a moment, I will return to the church. You know, standard maintenance. I wasn't there for a day, so there's probably, you know, some prayers in the box that should be emptied out and some candles to be replaced and general maintenance.
Okay.
Near, yeah.
Line
Go
up
for it.
outside the confession.
Oh, at this time, I know Ski was really interested in Flint's story. He said to save it
Yeah.
for later, so Ski's gonna be like, "So tell us the story." It just
It's gonna look like.
All right. Well, I mean, Colton knows a little bit about it, actually. It was with a band of, gang members that were running amok around town, and they were operating out of one of Colton's father's properties, we went up and busted the site and threw away and locked up a lot of the members, but never got the big man. Stopped his operation though. Pretty pissed off about that.
Did not like that.
Wound up finding out who was responsible. and that was myself. He took it upon himself to extend his hand and return the favor, as it were. Cost me my wife and daughter. Now, seeing my wife's body, know where she went. Daughter, not so much. Looking, and all I got is the leader of the Black Phoenix gang. So, pretty much everywhere we go, I'm gonna be dropping that question.
Yeah. Does that name ring any bells for me, Mr. DM?
Roll me a history check.
History, please roll 20. 17.
Nice.
You are the name is familiar to you, in a passing way. In the criminal underworld, you know there's layers to everything. Crime is an onion, like an ogre.
Always.
Oh my
And
god.
it's, you know, typically gangs like this don't operate, you know, solo. They've usually got a larger gang that they're responsible for answering to, and if they don't initially, they will come up with one, usually through connections like fences. It's not a gang that you directly worked with, but you know in the circles that your gang worked with, it's something you would have encountered before. You know they're higher up. They tend to be a little bit more of the higher end kind of crimes. This is where you tend to get people like your hitmen, your general assassins, stuff like that will come from spaces like this. So, you know, maybe a couple levels higher or a level higher than yours, but it rings a bell for you in a weird way.
So yeah, that's kind of my drive, my purpose out here. Why I took the job with the Frontiers. In the first place is to get out and be amongst fine folk like yourself who do these kind of things, learn about these kind of things, and wind up pursuing these kind of people.
That's fair. That's a dangerous line to follow, Mr. Flint.
Well, father's passion, sure you know it.
Something of it. Never
Got a
been my
million
calling.
kids.
He has a lot of
A
kids.
million kids, but
Well, I was blessed to have one of my own, and she's the only one I got, so she was
If
taken
you-
from me.
If you want help, I will help.
I appreciate that, mind if I keep them big ears open, and I'd love to hear anything that you hear.
He's like, they're not that big.
A little bigger than mine.
Don't worry,
Now-
Flint. We'll find her.
I'm more concerned with Mr. Colt here. You're an
Father?
awful far away from Daddy's lap.
What are you trying to say?
Phrasing?
Nah,
Phrasing?
Come on over here.
Sit on
Way I see
daddy's
it.
lap. I don't like that.
rich kid like you's got the whole world on their platter. What are you doing out in this nowhere town with a bunch of nowhere people?
Well, you need to see the world a little bit. Decide who I am as a man, not who, as you would say, my daddy says I am as a man. Take off the rose-colored glasses, if you would.
I respect that. Everyone's got to be free of whatever chains that bind them eventually.
Yeah, we made a deal, and now I'm out here. You're stuck with me for a while.
Ain't no problem. As long as that metal arm of yours is a straight shot and you got a good head on your shoulders, you're always welcome around.
I try. I know still naive to some things, but not gonna let that get in my way.
Well, at least I know you're not a blabber like the rest of them. Noticed you kept your mouth shut when I let Mr. Taz know that nobody saw that hammer. Thanks a lot, Mr. Flint. And you know what, Ski? I'm not gonna blame you
No,
here.
it's our organization. That's
Just
my
how you
hideout,
are.
but
I didn't know it was a secret. I didn't finish. I said but.
That's fair.
I'm
That's fair.
sorry.
I think if we lied about it and then word got out anyway, then we would appear to be the blabbermouths. And I didn't want that to tarnish our reputation.
Some things, whether it came from us or not, are best left to plausible deniability.
Oh,
That's true.
I like the truth.
Sophia. What?
I hope that doesn't kill you one day, Mr. Flint.
Uh-oh.
Mhm.
Why are you helping the adventurer, the frontier? Like what? You have your own building.
The building
Trying
isn't
to make
mine.
us like Ski. I'm sorry. She does not understand Christian or anything like that. She knows
Or, like,
religion,
yeah.
but she knows Sylvie. So she knows them as like not priests, but as like sages and everything. So she doesn't understand the concept of father.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Well, the building isn't mine, it's the people's, and it's the divines. I just happen to keep it in operating order. The adventure company, well, I mean, idle hands grow weary, idle hands grow tired. Got to do something more than just sitting in those pews all day, clutching a cymbal, hoping things will get better. Might as well be out there actually doing something.
Exactly. Colt takes a sip of his drink.
People are quick to pray that something might change. Not a lot of people are willing to put in that work.
Can't help the people if you don't know the people.
Damn right, Mr. Colt. I also got something of a debt to pay myself. But that's a long story, and we're nowhere near as inebriated as we ought to be.
I don't think he'll give you more spicy water.
Not tonight.
That's okay.
I'm curious about it, though. We'll definitely come back to that.
We'll see, Mr. Flint. We'll see.
Well, I mean, if we're going to be traveling with each other, we got to trust each other, don't we? And if you got a mighty fine debt behind your back, then you're going to be motivated to do some things. And I mean, quite curious about the things you might be motivated to do.
That's fair. I guess
Don't
for
know.
now, just consider that my debt is to the ones great beyond. Lords, the divines. Ain't no mortal, ain't no person on this planet gonna be pulling those debts. Not the way they can.
Well, demons and nasties can pull strings just as readily. So I'm just just a little curious still. We can definitely bookshelf it for tonight, but I'll be picking that book up pretty quickly, I think.
Just know that when my iron is drawn, it's not gonna be at the back of your head, Mr. Flint.
All right, well, as long as you're the one drawing the iron and it's not some demonic figure behind your eyes doing it, you know?
Hey. No, ain't nothing like that.
All right, well.
Ain't nothing like that at all.
Feel free to clarify anytime then.
For sure. Well, I guess one of us ought to keep eyes on that hammer.
I'm on it. Just stands up.
He's like, God. He's like, guess Ski's
Well, I
going
don't
first.
even know if Ski knows where she's going because she is bad at directions. She just says, I'm on it. Will she get there? Who knows? It's up to the DM.
Well, you guys will have to find the vault first.
Shit. Well, let me start with the building. I'm gonna look. Ski's gonna find the building first. And we're gonna.
That is true.
It's pretty straightforward. There's only so many paths through this town.
Alright. Ski's gonna make it to the building and be like, wait a minute. And just go upstairs where the hammer used to be, hanging, like, leaning on the wall. Is it still there?
It's not, no.
Oh no. Can I do investigation? See where it went?
Sure.
Cool. You know how well Ski does investigation, guys. You don't even know. It is
That as well as Colt.
okay. Not terrible, but not fantastic.
Unfortunately, you can't seem to find anywhere that it went. You search through the building. You can tell Taz has gone to bed for the night. You know, there's his stuff's all put away. It's organized. But he's as you kind of like sort through. Basically, the way that the building is laid out is there's the ground floor. There's the mess hall space that you were in before, and then there's 3 layers of rooms above that. During your investigation, you do discover that there's a downstairs space, but the door's locked.
He's just gonna go back to the bar and be like, I can't find it. Like, after, like, a few hours, she's been gone, and she just shows up and be like, I can't find it.
Are we still there?
That's up to you guys.
Are you guys still at the bar?
At this point, I would return to the chapel and do the maintenance and upkeep.
I'd be probably returning to my room and like starting to get rested.
He's gonna be screwed.
I think-
job.
Colt would make sure Ski got to the building. He would check there first. So she's not lost somewhere at night.
The Colt, just be like, Colt, I can't find it.
Do you help Ski look, or what's the plan, Colt?
Yeah. Oh, Colt will help look. His investigation.
There's a basement, but I can't get to it. It locked.
I might be able to get into it. Colt would like to try to unlock the door.
Give me. Do you have lockpicks on you?
I know I have these tools.
That'll do. Yeah. Give me a dexterity check.
Just straight dex. Okay.
Yeah. With your proficiency modifier on it.
Oh,
It's +2,
15.
so that'll be a 15. Yep,
Perfect.
the door that you find there, it's a sturdy, solid door. But you're able to, tinker away for a minute there and open the lock. And it leads you down into a room that looks like a gymnasium. Large polished hardwood floor. There's workout equipment. At the back wall, there's a rack of weapons that have been, set up and prepared. But there's no sign of, like, immediately visible sign of a vault or anything like that.
can I do a perception to see if something just looks slightly out of place, like a hidden door or
You can
something?
give me an investigation check.
Can I perception?
Nope. That's going to be an investigation check.
Shit, we're both at -1 for investigation.
Oh, I get to roll again.
No, that's
No,
not
that was a
natural
2.
that
one.
was a
That is an
2.
That's a 2.
unnatural
That's why I was like,
one.
shit, afterward.
Unfortunately, you can't seem to see any signs of a hidden door or anything here.
Okay.
This room is huge.
It echoes around. Huge, huge, huge. While you guys are looking, Sophia, you went back to the temple.
Yeah. At this point, it's evening. The sun is setting, yeah? Or has it already
The sun
set?
is set, so it's nighttime.
Okay. Gotcha. So I'm, lighting candles, replacing the ones that have already been burnt out, emptying any like tithe boxes that we may have, prayer boxes, what have you. There are multiple different ways people like to worship and call their own divine figures, and the temple is accustomed and fit for all of it, whatever that may be, burning, notes, money, whatever. But in the graveyard at the very back, there is one grave that is dug that is not filled. Sophia stands in front of it, reaches into that pouch full of empty bullet casings, each inscribed with their own descriptor, name, age, gender, whatever may be on each casing. She holds the shell in her hand, kind of looks up to the empty night sky, says, well, no no blood was spilt today, and those boys got a second chance at, well, living. I'd say that's worth one, wouldn't you? And she'll toss this bullet casing into this empty grave. And as kind of the camera follows that bullet casing down, you can see that the bottom of that grave is full of empty bullet casings, all with different engraved names, ages, genders, descriptors, racial traits, anything that somebody could look at somebody and go, I remember there was that person once, and that's who they were, that's what they looked like, that's what I can remember about them. Some of them are dusty, some of them look like they're just barely sticking out of sand that has been blown into the grave. She takes a minute, just looking up at the sky, returns to her room in the church. It's a stark, empty room. There's not a lot in there. Being part of the temple, you're supposed to be pious and not have too many belongings. It's supposed to bring you closer to the divine. But at the bottom of her bed, there's a large chest. A large, large chest. She grabs a small key, unlocks it, swings it open, and to the brim, this chest is full of more empty shells. She grabs another, puts it in her bag, and relocks the chest, and goes to bed.
Wow.
Okay.
As we get towards the end of our session here, our last person with an evening untouched, Flint. You went back to your rooms, but what are you doing with your evening?
For now, just kind of taking stock of the whole situation, seeing where we're at. The job's complete, so we're just kind of seeing. It's not like truly complete, but our hardest part of it is complete. Now it's just I know I'll get woken up at some point to go and take watch, just like we've done in multiple sleeps before. Should be just fine, seamless, I'm sure. Maybe get woken up early, who knows. But I would just be kind of Flint would just be kind of taking stock and just being like, okay, understands like where like Skileta's coming from, like definitely like out there to meet new people, like checking out the world and like making friends, and like understands Colt, has seen and worked with their father, and is just like, can understand why you would want to get away from the family business, go strike it out on your own. And then it's just like circling back to the preacher, and it's just like, I'm not like, it's writing down, it's just like kind of some question marks, like was led to the preacher when they were given the underground contact, so knows that the preacher is part of the underground circle, but is indebted to somewhere that we don't know, and is just like trying to figure out who he's surrounded by right now. And is just like, all right, well, definitely gonna like have some questions, but also has to keep like a half an eye out, and is gonna probably start going through his network to get a little digging done to see if there's any reason why they should be like freaked out or anything like that, because they're feeling freaked out. It's just, yeah. So
Okay.
he's gonna spend a little bit of time writing out some letters to his contacts and sending them out.
Now, Colton, Skileta, you guys did not find the vault.
No.
He's like, I'm gonna get in trouble.
Are you gonna tell Flint?
Ski's gonna like just walk over to the door, just like defeated, ears down, and just like kind of hoping he's asleep. Just like
Well,
Flint is
I'll make
like sound asleep.
Colt will make sure the basement door gets locked again before going up.
and just look over to Colt, be like, he's asleep. What can we do?
What can we do?
What can we do? He's asleep. We don't want
Well-
to be rude.
We didn't find anything, so we'll just let him sleep.
What about telling
Okay.
the father? Are you guys gonna make an attempt to travel out there and say anything, or are you gonna let Sophia?
I think Ski's gonna be like, oh, okay. I'll go talk to the scary. Oh, so scary.
Scary.
It doesn't have to be tonight.
I don't want to get in trouble by them again. And I fucked up before today, so I'm gonna go. Okay. Starts,
Do you
like,
know where to
walking.
go, Steve?
No.
You want me to come with you?
Yeah.
Okay, let's
Okay.
go
Can I?
see Sophia.
You're just like holding the back of your shirt, like, okay. Oh, get lost.
It's it's a short walk out to the temple, and you find the doors open, but the room to the preacher closed.
Okay, Caesar's gonna walk over and go, oh. It's just really like,
Just a very
On the
gentle,
door.
like,
Knock, knock, knock.
Prayers are done for the day. Coming back
It-
tomorrow.
It's us, Father. It's
Oh.
Sophia.
he said,
She
she said
hold
to come
on.
back tomorrow. We could come back tomorrow.
And
We just have a
Um,
quick update, then we'll get out of your hair.
Sophia opens the door and she's got like a little candle in like a little brass holster. And she's got one of those Charles Dickens ass nightgowns and nightcaps on. Like she
I
was
love it.
Yeah.
She
like
was-
looking like she was about to get ready for the coziest nap you've ever did have. You know?
Yes.
That like full nightgown. And I think this is the first time too you've seen her with her hair down out of her braid, and it like
Yeah.
it's long. It's
Yeah.
this long brown flowing like down to like lower back hair. Okay, what?
I can't find the vault.
We found the basement, but
I mean, that's
No.
good enough, I guess.
perfect. See, she's not mad. Told you she wouldn't
Nah.
be mad.
I mean, as long as we're in the general area, and I'm sure if something goes wrong, we'll hear of it. It's a, pardon. It's a small town. As long as one of us is at least keeping an ear and an eye out, we'll be fine.
Okay. I have a
Um,
bad feeling about this.
That's fair. Me too. Actually, hold on. Yeah, give me a minute. And the door closes, and you hear like rattling and like and like, you know, and she opens the door again. She's fully dressed. It's just like, okay.
He's like, that was impressive. That was so fast.
Yeah. You get used to changing quick when you're on the road. Oh, God. I guess I'm sleeping at the barracks tonight. Let's go.
Colt just kind of looks at it like, are you sure? Like,
Do you
I
want your
mean,
comfy clothes?
What? So, no, they'll be
You can
fine.
have your comfy clothes. You can see a barrack in the comfy clothes.
No, they'll be fine.
Okay.
okay.
You can borrow some of
Um,
my comfy clothes.
I don't think they'd fit, and I think it'd be very silly to try.
Just like one arm.
And between you and me, I'm not about to let Hearts see me like that either. Wouldn't hear the end
That's
of it.
true.
Would they be jealous of the comfy clothes?
Oh, I'm sure, Ski. I'm sure.
Sure.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Jealous, that's the word. They'd be laughing their rear end until the cows came home. Let's head out to the barracks, and Sophia will you know when you woke up to go pee at 1 o'clock in the morning, and you're like, yeah, that way.
Why don't I lead?
Yeah, you head back. I'm assuming, Colt, you're gonna unlock the door again.
Sure.
I mean, you locked it on your way back out, so.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, if Sophia wants
I-
to see the gym tonight.
Gotcha. Can I take a look around this basement? Do I see
Oh,
where any vault might be kept?
Give me a investigation check.
Can Ski try the basement?
Investigate. Can I perception?
No, it's still an investigation check.
18.
Uh,
18.
So as you kind of look around, it's to most people it would be very hard to spot. It's one of those things where you have to be very careful and very conscientious about thinking about it. But you notice that in the center of the gymnasium floor, the floorboards are too perfect. And the more you kind of look at them and the way that they're laid down, the more you notice that it's very clearly a door of some kind is being contained underneath there.
Gotcha. Well, found it. And I'll tap my boot on it. Does it ring hollow or?
No, it honestly, if you weren't specifically looking for it, you wouldn't even know it was there.
Gotcha. It's right underneath here.
It's a floor.
I'm up now, so I'll take first watch. I'll come grab one of yous when it's time.
Okay.
Are you wanting to stay in the gym or maybe?
I'll stay here. I'll lock the door behind you, and the only time it'll be open is when we're switching out.
All right.
Okay.
Night night.
Um,
Waddles away.
Night.
Woke her from her getting ready for the comfiest sleep. Woke her,
Yeah.
dragged her ass to a basement and said, "Here, look here, we're going to bed. Bye."
You're the best
my
of friends.
Best of friends.
Your watch throughout the night is quiet.
Yeah.
There isn't any signs of people trying to come or go. The building creaks and settles, but other than that, there's nothing really of specific note for your night. Who do you want to swap out with?
I will swap out with Mr. Colt.
Okay.
Okay.
Knock, 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 knock.
just come in.
Opens it.
Be like, "Go."
Sitting
Your
on
turn.
a bed with roses everywhere. Be like, I was expecting you.
I was expecting you.
I mean, I'd hope
No.
so, but not like this.
Sorry, I just had to. Just come on in. Hello.
You were expecting someone else, weren't you? I'll wake somebody else up.
Not Playboy.
Leaves. Your turn.
All right. Thank you. And Colt will go down, lock the door behind him, and sit against one of the walls.
It's the same situation for you. You find yourself kind of sitting in this room. It's eerie. It's quiet. Again, it's a gymnasium, so there's some workout equipment, and then there's, again, the line of weapons along the back wall that you saw when you first came down. But your watch passes without anything of real note.
Perfect. Then Colt will go up and get Ski.
Okay.
Pop his head in. You awake, Ski?
He just pokes up like, huh? Just like hair a mess, one ear down, one ear up. Just, huh? What?
It's your turn, Fuzzball.
Okay. Just gets up, puts strudel on top of their head and just walks downstairs to the basement.
Same as the last two. You're in the room. It's quiet. You get to listen to the sound of a very old building settling and figuring itself out, swaying in the wind occasionally. But your night passes with little in the way of venture. Only one last person to wake up.
He's gonna close the door gently, making sure it doesn't lock, and go up to Flint and just go, knock, knock, knock. And just pokes his head and be like, Flint!
Yeah.
Flint, it's your turn.
All right.
I'll show you where it is.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. No, I never really did. Sure, they told us, hey? Sure, it was easy.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, easy.
Sure. Taz told us, of course.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, then you just show me the way then.
There's a little butterfly effect, and you see Father will remember this.
Oh no.
Probably didn't take 3 people to find this.
I thought he said, I'll be honest, I thought he said, oh, Taz told you where it was, right? I'm like, yeah, sure, Taz told me. And just takes them to the basement and is like, okay, make sure you lock the door. Make sure when you leave you lock the door so Taz, he totally knows we're down here.
Runs upstairs.
On that note, both of you roll me perception.
Shit!
Oh, God.
No! The one time, the person who doesn't want perception to be rolled. It's perception.
You got this.
I got 12.
14?
It was subtle. You had a hard time noticing it because he did not want you to know he was there. But as you lead Flint downstairs to the basement, you feel a hand strong as iron grab you about the scruff and lift you clean off the ground. And find yourself face to face with a very unhappy Dragonborn.
Hi, Toozy!
What? Now I thought you said that. Yeah, see, this is what happened with these little white lies. They get out of hand and people get in trouble for them. Now we're standing here, you 3 feet off the ground. Look at yourself.
Hi, Toozy.
What happened out here tonight?
No,
I was sleeping restfully now.
And in a
son of a
thickly
bitch.
accented voice that only comes from somebody who is very annoyed, he goes, "Yes, I too would like to know what was going on tonight."
Well, shit.
And that's
He's
where
like,
we're gonna leave it for the night.
Oh no.
That is Tasbor,
That
though,
is
right?
Tasbor, yes.
That's-
Okay, good.
And that's where we're gonna leave it for the night.
Cool.
So every single
Yeah, just,
time you guys were doing changes, I was rolling to see if he noticed you, And it basically was like if you were above it, if you were 10 and up, like it was fine. He wouldn't notice. And then on that last one, I rolled a 1.
Oh,
Oh
no.
no.
Oh no.
Why does he have to
Amazing.
get caught? Why couldn't Flint get caught? He would be
And-
oblivious to everything.
As you were telling the story and I rolled a 1, you're like, yeah, Taz totally knows. I don't know if you noticed, but that face I made was me being like,
Yeah.
Oh,
he does,
Way back.
unfortunately.
pay that one back.
He does now.
Because at first I thought he said, "Oh, Taz must have told you where the vault is," and I was like, "Yes."
Yeah,
Taz told. Because I remember when Sophia said, "You don't need to tell the truth. It's okay." And I'm like, Taz totally. He's not learning the best things. Taz totally told me where it was.
Flint is just like totally reinforced with his own way of thinking on this. He's just like, yeah, well, these guys are silly.
Well, no, like he knows we're guarding the vault too, and he just threw us under the fence, just like, yeah, what were you doing? And I'm like,
Well, no, I knew what the plan was, but like I didn't realize it was gonna be so like that Taz wouldn't have known because it sounded like he knew.
Which is why Colt was trying to be like, let's just watch the basement door.
I feel so bad for Hearts coming back to this one.
For
What happened?
once somebody's in trouble and it's not Hearts.
Yeah.
he in the corner, just like sitting in a chair, like, I'm sorry, don't, your time out. Okay.
He comes back with pizza and the whole room is on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Fine.
I mean, this is not a whole room on fire situation. This is just like a oopsie.
Yeah. This is
I
a pot
didn't
of
do
chili
anything
situation.
wrong. I didn't go in the vault. I was told to guard it.
but that's where we're gonna leave it for tonight. We're
my
gonna
God.
all come back next week and find out just how mad Tazbor is.
You can't be that mad.
Well,
Well, I mean, we were just keeping an eye on the thing. He should be happy.
He can't be that
We're
mad
his
at
favorite little
friends.
guys.
Yeah.
We even know his special nickname, Tazzy.
He
but
doing lurking about in the middle of the night anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
why are you
Mr.
up,
Taz,
Tazzy?
Why are you
Why-
up?
why-
Hold on.
Yeah, change this around.
you guys are gonna have to wait till next week to find out.
Got a whole
Gaslight gatekeep girl boss.
yeah.
But with that said, we're going to be rating out to New Age Geeks. We're going to be sending them some love. So for those of you that are hanging out here in chat, that is where we are headed. So stick around, share some love, send off the raid. Nope, that's not who we're raiding out to. They just went offline.
Quick, David.
James. Shit.
Russian roulette, let's go.
We're gonna send you
Right out to us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. We're going over
Do
to
it.
the dungeon run then. Is who we're gonna send you guys over to.
Never mind, they quit too.
Yeah. Oh my God, could you fucking imagine? I'm actually gonna make sure they're still live before I try and send you guys over. They are in fact live, so I'm gonna send all of you over to them. Just give them a quick hello from us. Share
Yeah.
some love, and I will see you guys next Wednesday.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.